About to be joined up by Rowan Swords, James Lee and Keith going in the centre square. For the top scorer is the Adelaide captain, Brisbane they're making his way to the centre square.
Welcome back to Football Park here in South Australia. A bit of rain in the past couple of days. We've got an overcast afternoon. We're looking forward to a very exciting contest. But Curls, the Bears have been hard hit by injuries, and you've got one of them with you in Matt Campbell, a former star.
Yes, I certainly have, Sandy. I'll throw to Matty for an update for those Brisbane viewers.
Yeah, Neil, with Merritt out, the Bears are really going to have to rearrange their forward line. They're going to rely on youth. Voss at centre-half forward, Lepich at full forward, 19 and 18 respectively.
And Sandy, there's going to be a lot of positional changes for the Crows. I think you'll see young Rashudo in the centre, Pittman centre-half forward, Maynard centre-half back, and some flanking changes also. You have Wiedemann, Ingerson and Liptak on the fence, so a lot of positional change for the Crows. It'll just be interesting to see how quickly they settle down, because against the Bears and the Gabba last time, the Bears jumped them and they had to come home very strongly, the Crows, to win that footy match.
Curls, I know that you've been away for a while, but I'm sure the rumours have been out, the talk's been wild in Adelaide this week. It wouldn't be an easy place to live, would it, if you're connected with the club?
It was fantastic where I was. Fantastic. I was out of all that. Left that to other people to handle.
Good on you, boys. Neil Curley and Matthew Campbell, our boundary riders, down here at Football Park this afternoon. And we also welcome to the microphone Dennis Committee. Welcome, Den.
Hello, Sandy. How are you?
Well, I'm well, but very bad news for Brisbane. As far as the selection is concerned, does it affect you?
Absolutely. I was going for Adelaide before. I feel more confident now. Really tough for these youngsters to come in. Not a lot of football amongst them during the course of the season. And at Football Park, always a tough environment. Adelaide with a lot to play for today in terms of pride and the pressure you were talking about that they've been under. So I would expect a committed effort from the Crows. Really tough for the Bears.
And Don, your selection?
Adelaide, Sandy.
Okay, so here we go. Interesting to note that the Wiedemann is starting on the bench for the Adelaide Crows. Sean Wren's had a marvellous year. He's been a real shining light for this Adelaide Crows outfit. They're going to the left. The Bears, this injury-riddled Bears side going to the right. Clark up against Wren. Clark got a couple of touches, but that was all. Tregenza the first kick. Hurriedly up towards the half-forward line. Strong mark taken by Wellman. Wellman quickly inside 50. And it dropped short. Martin Leslie takes the mark.
That wasn't a committed effort by John Gastev to allow Wellman to take that mark. He'll have to improve. Gastev, that is.
Scott brings it towards the half-back line. The mark taken by Sean Hart. So from the half-back flank, Hart kicks towards the centre wing. Clark at the back takes a fine grab.
This is where he made his name, Clark, starting with the under-19s at Richmond. He came across to South Adelaide and he was recruited from there by Brisbane.
Finds Lambert in towards the centre. Not quite a full house here at Football Park today. As I mentioned, overcast conditions, but really excellent for football. McAdam goes in strongly, and Rashudo strongly into him. A couple didn't appreciate Mark Rashudo coming in like that.
Well, there was really no need for that, Sandy. And the umpires picked it.
So McAdam will take it from 65. Too far out to goal, but he just drops it in towards half forward. Hart had made good position, and he takes the mark. Sean Hart will be kicking from some 45 metres. This for the Bears' first score, and the first score of the match. The left footer just wobbles it in towards full forward. No one able to take the mark. Pushed wide, now a chance for Tregenza to clear it. He does so for the Crows, going wide to the wing.
Dropping back, Fletcher takes a clever mark, plays on immediately. Short one in towards half forward. Voss the target, fisted away. Pesh the quick hands. Rashudo through the middle, goes down towards half forward. Pittman drifting back, it runs away from him. Modra comes to it, slapped out of bounds by Champion.
Nigel Smart's got the job on Pius Dennis down in the back line. He was moved into the forward line by Adelaide last week after half-time. We've got Pittman at centre-half forward. Maybe Pittman, I believe. Well, I don't think Pittman's got the class to play as a forward. Perhaps they could do a change or look at a change there.
Pittman directs it down. This is Powell in trouble, dragged off it. Fletcher always busy, deep in his own defensive area. Around the outer side, missed out there by Clark, but he kept it in. Craven, nicely done. Craven from half back goes towards the middle. A floating kick over the top. Wren dropped it, waiting behind Voss. Breaks away now through the middle. Kicks inside the 50. Pios on the lead. Pios about 45 metres from goal. Kicks on the 50 in effect. Down towards full forward. Wide of Lepic. And Anderson just pushes the ball across the line.
Good play by Pios to move that ball quickly to try and catch the Crows defenders napping.
Matthew Liptak also on the bench. This is brought back into play, taken by Martin McKinnon, who kicks up towards centre wing. Rashudo out in front. Mark Rashudo, a little bit of space on centre wing. Hammers it up towards the left half forward. Over the head of Pittman it goes, and it will go over the line for a throw-in. Tony Hall also there. Pretty cool day in Adelaide. We've reached the expected top. Just 12 degrees, and we can expect a few showers as the afternoon becomes evening. But at the moment it's pretty good. From the throw-in, Pittman tries to steal it, had it for a moment but then lost it. Unable to get clear was David Brown. And Fletcher taken high, said the umpire, so he'll take the free kick. Short to Scott. Good spoil, but Scott, a fine recovery. He's a very exciting young player. Towards Clark and Wren, and the latter gave away a free kick, so the advantage is paid to the Brisbane Bears. They've started off pretty well, up towards centre half forward. No mark paid, so Nigel Smart plays on across half back, loses it. Pios is at the bottom, claimed by Lee, and another bounce will take place.
A real captain's effort then, Sandy. That was McDermott going back with a flight of the ball, just couldn't hang on to it, but boy, does it take some courage to do what he was doing.
Umpire having a bit to say. There's McDermott going back. Pios storming up on the lead, just missed him. Clark and Wren, not much height in these Bears today. Kennedy in the grasp, got the kick off, knocked forward by Ashcroft. McKinnon feeds it back to Anderson, goes over the top to Maynard. They're bearing down on him. He read it pretty well. McKinnon, good evasion. Pesh now across half back. Lee, the short one to the middle. Rashudo, a runner alongside. McDermott goes down inside the 50. Modra could have almost got a free kick. Here's Hall waiting behind. Hall about 35 metres out from goal. Pulls it back. It's a great effort. First goal of the day to Tony Hall.
Now that's the best Adelaide have looked for 2 weeks. They were pathetic last week. They did not have a build-up that looked anything like that. And let's hope that Tony Modra's all right, because there he is down on all fours, now getting to his feet. But they ran that ball really well from half-back, finishing up with Hall's snap.
Tony Modra gingerly picks himself up to the cheers of Crow fans. It's not a good bounce in the middle after Tony Hall scored the first goal of the match. Fletcher at the bottom of the pack. They quickly pounce upon him. Craven coming in late, and another bounce will take place. It's the Crows by 5 points. Wren and Clark both got a hand to it. Wren at the second attempt was able to get the hand pass away. They're starting to look somewhat positive now as Rashudo takes the hand pass, kicks up towards half forward. Modra receiving plenty of attention again. It bounces back to Rashudo. Spears a long hand pass up towards Pittman. He's on half forward. Pittman's got to give ground. Back to Mark Rashudo again. Shrugs one tackle. Goes across with a quick hand pass to his teammate there in Powell. Powell up towards full forward. Tony Hall will kick for his second goal.
Well, Hall always has been a great high mark. Not a tall player, but really does. You can see there, keeps his eye on the ball until it's in his hands. And there's his second. Well, Well, the Crows are looking good. They're finally starting to get their act together. The difference is that they're a little more confident in their handling. They were turning the ball over a lot, fumbling last week. And they're playing with a little bit more purpose. Maybe the home ground, they don't have to travel.
That's right. Tony Hall, his second goal. Only his 9th game this season, back after missing 5 weeks. Adelaide skipping away early. Clark goes up and wins it down. Craven taken high. He'll get the free kick. Danny Craven, formerly with the Saints, back at the centre circle. A makeshift Brisbane Bears side this afternoon. Big assignment for them. Not the place to put it. Wren, uncontested. Away to Anderson. Anderson's hand pass, ambitious. Well played by McKinnon to Rashudo. Long probing kick. Hall comes again. Could have almost got a free kick. Leslie appeared to be in his back. Nothing doing. McIver heads for the boundary line and runs it across. So Tony Hall back in this side, immediately causing problems for Martin Leslie down there.
Also, Rashudo across midfield is really cutting a line through that area. He was responsible for getting that ball down to Hall.
Rashudo already 7 possessions. There's the boundary throw in. Off hands, Fletcher, forward of half-back, tumbles it down through the wing. Ashcroft in front, knocked away by Lee. Here's a chance for Sean Hart. Hart kicks inside the 50. Pios gathers the bouncing ball. Back towards Ashcroft. Hart, 60 metres from goal. The umpire fell over. Someone ran into him inside the 50. The hand pass came from Lehman. The kick, not a particularly good one down there from McAdam. Well, flattening out of bounds on the full, and they might get it.
Yes, it was, Dennis.
Pios, deep in the pocket. Very sharp angle, as you can see. Getting lots of help. Pios intent on kicking a goal, it seems. The banana kick is not a bad effort. That's a terrific effort. It's a goal. Can't do better than that.
Unbelievable. Fantastic skill there. Paul Pios, the Bears first. 1 goal won by Pios against Melbourne last week. And this there isn't a ticky touchwood. Maynard off his foot. But what an excellent display of skill by Paul Pios.
5 points the margin as Pios gets a very exciting goal. McKinnon sends Adelaide forward down towards Modric. Bounces over the top for a goal. There's the quick reply.
Well, McKinnon last week was very impressive the way he disposed of the ball off half-back. That occasion he showed that he is a thumping kick of the ball, getting it around midfield and letting fly. Here he is. He'll come into play here, picking it up, line turn. Runs his full distance, and from the edge of the square, it bounces right in the square and just escapes champion.
11 points the margin, favouring the Crows. And just under 13 minutes remaining. Clark beaten by Wren out of the centre. Crows try to charge it forward again. McKinnon takes the hand pass from Powell. Down towards full forward. Modra trying to use the body from behind. Champion is there with his in front. And he locks it up down at centre half back for a bounce. 73rd game for Richard Champion. Came from here. Now a settled Bear. Clears back towards the half-back line. He wants Clark, who's got to beat a couple. It's a big ask. Rashudo has made a most exciting start. Mark Rashudo pulls it round his body. It's going to eventually be okay because Wren gets the hand pass off to Brown. Back towards Wren again. Now he's got to beat Little Hart and could have almost given away a free kick. Lambert takes it off to Fletcher and the Bears are out of trouble.
Ashcroft, metres in the clear, can take it and go. He's at right half forward. Centres the ball. Lepich favoured by the kick. It was a beauty. And he's taken this mark directly in front and about 40 metres out.
Exciting youngster when he made his debut last year, Lepich. And here he is once again, figuring, let's hope he can go on from that knee injury that he incurred.
Yes, a lot of hard work to get back. Very high draft pick. Taken in the top 10. He kicks from 45. It's touch and go. It's good. The Bears get their second.
And absolutely no reaction from the crowd as he put that through. But it was a good kick here. This is Fletcher now. Fletcher is playing on Rashudo. He really will have to tighten up because that man is proving a problem for the Bears, and Fletcher does go kick chasing a bit. It was a good kick to get it across to Lepic.
Adelaide by 5 points. How about that?
Spike.
Down towards centre half forward. That is worth a kick. If you stepped it out, that's about 40 to 50 metres. Sean Wren smashed it down to centre half forward, and Pittman comes up hobbling. How about that? Do you ever do that?
What he would be like in a volleyball team. He'd never retrieve the ball.
There's Pittman in trouble. Meantime, young Wellman's got the ball, and he'll kick from almost on the 50, just wide of the mark. Forced against the post, I would have thought, by a champion. The goal umpire trying to attract the attention of the central umpire, and eventually the behind is paid.
Pittman's still limping. He's on the edge of the square.
Well, when you're playing centre half forward, you don't expect that, do you?
One goal of difference. Pittman.
Excellent effort.
Kennedy gets the hand pass away to Hughes, off to Clark. The big youngster has a tentative bounce as he ambles down through centre wing. No one comes at him. Eventually Rashudo does. He gives it to Fletcher. Fletcher inside 50, and a good strong mark taken by Paul Pios. Has kicked 29 goals so far this season. He's played every game. Wants to go short. Just drops it in the hole. Clark was the target. Solidly met. Free kick. Directly in front now. There's a crow down there that might have caught one high. And is very slow to get up. Tregenza.
And there is the
heads.
And Pittman's gone off too, Sandy, for Adelaide. Obviously that ankle or leg injury, a bit of a problem. Ingerson has come on. He's gone to centre half forward.
What was the kick paid for at the end of all of that, pray tell?
Good question. The bottom line is that Clark has it. And he goes for goal for the Brisbane Bears and kicks it behind.
Did he pay a free kick, Don?
Yeah, I thought he was pushed in the back. Or it was a little bit high. That's the way I saw it. But then again, a lot of these rules are open for interpretation, Dennis. 5
points the margin. Anderson, it comes away for the Crows. Back towards centre half back. Sean Wren. This time he'll take it. Between half back and centre wing.
Having a great season. Sean Wren boots in towards the middle. Ill-directed though. And Fletcher takes the mark. To Gaster, peeling off half back. Awkward looking hand pass wide of the mark. McIver though has some time now. Scott McIver on the outer side wing, just forward of the wing in fact. He kicks down towards half forward. Up goes Hart, takes the clever mark, judged it very well, and a well weighted kick coming in. So the Bears fighting hard early. The breeze not a factor, just wafting down the ground. If anything, the Crows have got it. Sean Hart goes for distance eventually. In front is Lepic, fisted away by the defence. McAdam roving the pack about 35 metres out. Back towards the kick-off line. Lepic got his fingertips to it. Still he goes deep in the pocket. Well played by Wren. Hooked the arm in and got it out of bounds. What a terrific player. Sean Wren turns 23 on Wednesday.
In the right forward pocket for the Bears. They trail. Clark gives away a free kick as he tries to climb over the man mountain in Sean Wren. Quickly off to Anderson he goes. To centre wing Rashudo. Well, this quarter has belonged to this player. Mark Rashudo on centre wing. In towards the middle. Good diving mark taken by Wellman. in front of Gastead. Modra and Hall, the two big forwards down at full forward. Here goes Wellman in towards that territory now. Modra caught behind. Leslie Hall for number
3. Well, I agree with Richard Champion. There was a free kick there against Modra as Hall roved that pack, as we see here on replay. Wellman getting around, there he is, and then decides to go again then onto the left foot, normally a right foot kick, and here is the free kick there. But the umpire didn't see it.
Leslie should have marked it anyway, shouldn't he?
3 goals to Tony Hall. 4-1 plays 2-2. McIver out wide for the Bears. Wobbles it up towards Mark Voss. On the flank, he's under plenty of pressure. McDermott comes steaming through, but he runs into Hart, and with Fletcher they lock it up, causing a bounce to take place on the outer side.
Wren and Clark. Clark missed it. Lambert, quick hands. Bewes in trouble. Brown missed it. Knocking it forward, McKinnon, taken by Lehman. Lambert back to Lehman on the burst. Good looking pass. What a beauty. A daisy cutter, they used to call it. Pios pops it back short. Lacks marking. Lehman has run on, and now will shoot at goal from only about 30 metres out.
The boy from Waikerie. His father played for North Adelaide in the early 70s. Kim Lehman.
Daisy cutter or worm burner?
Well, in WA it was a daisy cutter, but I don't quite know. There goes Lehman. And what's he done? It's far from centimetre perfect. Troy Lehman. 2-3 plays 4-1. Robert Walls on the phone. Adelaide have won only 5 of their 9 games here at Football Park, so not the daunting prospect it was last season, certainly, to come here. And Brisbane still have some ambitions about making the finals, as Powell comes off again under the bleeding rule, and on comes Liptak. That might be a thought for Martin Leslie. Have a blood capsule in his sock. Tony Hall's already got 3 goals.
Not much good in this.
Well, if things are going really bad, take it out.
Yeah, take it out into the mouth.
Up goes Wren, takes the mark from the kick in. Plays on from halfback across the ground. Here's Maynard. McGuinness breaking for him. Maynard goes for distance towards centre half forward. Wellman works his way in front. Big leap from behind it was Scott. This is Pesh in front. Pulls it back across the body. Modra could have been held by the arm. He's going to get a free kick.
Well, there's no justice, is there? Modra infringed earlier on Champion. He's doing well down there, Champion, although he gives away this free. There you go.
Tony Modra. So much spoken and written about this young man, and just watching him in the first 15 minutes here, just a shell of the player who took 13 marks against Carlton back in round 1. Maybe a good start, a good kick here can turn him around. From 25 metres out, he's got the goal. Big roar.
Well, as Dennis said, just a shell. Watching him last week, he really did fumble a lot and showed the signs of a player that really has lost touch with the game. And obviously from that, he's a real touch player. If his confidence is not up, he's not a player, but at least he's attacking the ball today, trying to get in front.
So a confidence booster for Tony Modra. 5-1 plays 2-3. Pesh tries to take it out of the centre, is unsuccessful. Hart, an interesting hand pass wide. Back to Hart again. Came from Liptak. Up towards half forward, and Wellman takes the mark. Plays on very quickly. That's a little too quickly to Nick Pesh. He gives it to Lee. Lee up towards half forward once again. Modra the target, unable to take it. pushed, cleared, and towards Brown it goes over the top to Wellman. He gets caught, gets the hand pass away. Brown again, a hurried kick, only goes a couple of metres. Pressure now on the Bears' defence. It's on half back at the moment. Trying to run it out is Gastev. Runs into trouble and goes to ground. Hard over the top, claims him. Fletcher tries to get it clear. Eventually it lands with McIver, and Scotty McIver goes back towards the centre. In front was Voss. Unable to take the mark and taken out of it by McGuinness. Pesh gets it away to McDermott. Now they can start something. Here's Rashudo from a standing start. It's a high kick. Tony Hall comes steaming out. Can't take the mark. Liptak's got a chance to have a shot for goal. There's another one. Matthew Liptak kicks his 20th goal for the season.
Well, he's been in and out as far as form goes. Matthew Liptak starting on the bench. Was named in the Glenelg side earlier, which played as a curtain raiser. But Voss did particularly well. Tried hard then. Here's Rashudo. It's an interesting battle between those two. Stats about 8-10 favouring Rashudo. But the Adelaide side a little more confident in the way they're handling the ball. More positive.
Crows lead by 22 points. Clark goes up and taps it down. Lambert in desperate trouble. Away to Clark. Hurried kick towards half forward. It was touched. McAdam runs on. He comes down towards the 50. Goes for home with a high one. A lot of wrestling in the square. In from the side. Valiant attempt at the mark there by Voss. Down he went. And the whistle. Maynard at the base of all of that. But Voss eyes only for the ball. Terrific attempt.
Surely there's a free kick. That's what I was querying. That attempt by Anderson should have been a free kick against him. Holding the man.
Haven't missed much. There was a bounce and another wrestle. And another baller. Well, the Bears desperate for the next goal. Adelaide playing some pretty good football at the present time. Moving the ball very well through midfield. And we've got this charade again of the rucks wanting a little contact before they start. Wren hooks it towards the pocket. Here's McKinnon breaking away. Boots it towards the wing. That's a long kick. This will be interesting. Rashudo can't keep it in. He got rid of Fletcher, but the ball just kicked away from him as we go down to Neil Curl.
Yes, a report on Pittman. He's down the room. It's reported a slight knee strain. May be able to come back on the ground.
Thank you, Curls. Crows rather warm favourites from Sportsbook. 15-8 on. Bears 5-4 against. To half forward, Wellman was the target. At the back is Andrew Buse. The Rat will tidy up with a high kick towards McAdam in the centre. Fisted clear of him. Waiting down in front is Brown. McGuinness is there also. Throws out the hand pass in front of Tregenza. Simon Tregenza goes wide. Too wide. And out of bounds on the full on the outer side. Chris Scott will bring it back into play. Short Lehman. Another one across to Champion. Richard Champion towards Clark, who climbs over the top to take a good mark. Time running out for the Bears in this first quarter as McAdam goes down towards half forward. Leppich spoiled by Anderson once again. The hurried kick goes down towards the pocket. No one able to take it for the Bears, and it's Nigel Smart who sees it over the line.
Good harassment by Pios. So good use of the body by Leppich on Anderson.
Right forward pocket for the Bears, trying to turn around the first round result where they were beaten by 11 points. Lambert, a snap in towards full forward. Anderson got a hand to it, and over the top it goes for one behind. So a point with just a couple of minutes remaining. 6-1 plays 2-4.
Matthew Powell on screen, trying to stop the blood from the nose. That's why he's off the ground. The blood rule.
Nigel Smart kicks in. Intended for Wren, and why not? Gets on the end of it. Away it comes to Maynard. Maynard kicks it down towards half forward. Liptak, the meat and the sandwich. It flies loose behind. Here's Leslie. Away to Gastev. Voss wants it wide. He goes to Lehman. Lehman slipped over. Now he's got a problem. Scrambles it back towards the middle. That's Voss's man. McKinnon, long kick down towards full forward. Close to the boundary line. It stayed in. No, it didn't. It just trickled across. Champion picked it up. Well, that certainly went out of bounds, and the boundary umpire is flagging on the outer side. Yes, the pink armband's working overtime there, and the ball will come back.
Actually, it was the goal umpire who signalled that as out of bounds.
So here's the boundary throw in front. Ingerson reaching over the top was Hall. This is Pesh, snaps and misses. Nick Pesh playing his 5th game, the young rover, yet to kick a senior goal.
Under 1.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Controlled by the Crows, who booted 6. Champion goes to the outer side. Lovely long kick, but to whom? Simon Tregenza takes it on the chest. Here they go again, in towards half forward. Wellman's on his eye.
I don't think that was meant to go in that direction. It was an ugly kick off the boot by Ingerson. Nonetheless, it found its mark.
Sean Wellman, in only his 15th game, has been tried at both ends of the ground, kicking from 47 metres. A drop punt's on its way, put it straight through the middle. Big quarter for the Crows. 7-2 plays 2-4.
1 goal, 1 last week, Sean Wellman. As we see the build up here, Tregenza in turn across to Ingerson. And I believe off the side of the boot, that was supposed to go more to the left of screen. And Wellman fortunate.
7-2 plays 2-4. As we said, inside the last minute. Down towards half forward, but it's McDermott who soccers off the ground to the centre once again. Wren had it, then lost it to McAdam. A lightning hand pass finds Lambert. Time ticking away. The Bears desperately want a goal. Goes inside 50. No mark paid. Lee takes it away from Voss, who's still in shock of that decision. They're not out of it yet, the Adelaide Crows. Tackled well was Martin McKinnon. Comes back to McAdam. He's on 50. He goes to ground with McGuinness. Voss comes through now. Needs help. Gets his hand pass away, but it's socket clear. Up towards the half-back line. Now the Crows are out of trouble. Liptak started on the bench and he kicks it up towards left half forward. The mark taken by Wellman. Plays on quickly. They'll run out of time as the skipper takes the mark. It's quarter time here at Football Park. And Graham Corn strides back out onto the turf as they rise in the stand.
Their best first quarter of the season, actually, Sandy, this one by the Crows, producing 44 points. Their previous best 35 against Sydney back in round 3. So already they've achieved something this afternoon. Quarter time, 7-2 to 2-4.
Who'll take Charlie home this year? The Brownlow medal count exclusively on 7. Monday, September 26th.
Tony Hall led the way up forward for the Adelaide Crows in the first quarter. He booted 3, and the Crows in a commanding position to really nail this one. 7-2-44 Brisbane, a 2-4-16 down on the boundary line. One will be fairly happy, the other one will be in a state of shock. Curls, you should go away more often.
Thank you, Sandy. Well, the big difference tonight, of course, I know the opposition is not quite as good as what the Crows have been against the last couple of weeks, but it's the Crows have started with some enthusiasm, some purpose, and some real good quick ball movement. Rasuto in the middle, of course, has the ability, to get the ball quickly and also get the ball long and quickly into the forward line, which has given Hall and Modra a chance one-on-one, and the results are there. And for the Brisbane Bears, Matty, there's a few problems.
Yeah, Woolsey's not very happy at all. I mean, they've got Voss at centre-half forward, and he's got to present himself. He's got to be in the contest and keep the ball in the area. And they've really got to tighten up across midfield. As you said, Rasuto really cutting them up at the moment now.
Yeah, look, it's just great to see the Crows side playing the type of football that we're becoming used to over the last couple of years. They are now attacking footy. In the last few weeks, they've been defensive and hesitant. Tonight, they're having a real go.
Curls, just in closing, Don was wondering, would you describe them as fast or quick?
Both. I'll let Don sort that one out.
It's like deliverance.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
So just about set to go in the second quarter here at Football Park. Sean Wren, again a dominant player for the Adelaide Crows, and young Clark having a real test. Robert Walls, Don having plenty to say.
Yes, he was,
time.
Sandy, yes, and very vocal. Robert pointing a few things out to 1 or 2 players.
44 plays, 16 as we go into the second term. Clark down towards Fletcher, who gets taken out by Rasuto in no uncertain fashion. High up in the air it goes. It's still in the middle. Bears desperate for a couple of early goals to see if they can stem the tide. A bounce on centre wing will take place.
Wolsey may have been reasonably happy with that shirt front there.
Troy
delivered the message he was trying to, I think. We'll see how Fletcher responds.
Oh dear. They certainly had plenty to say to him. Hart just forward of centre, up towards full forward once again. Leslie, Modra caught at the back, shrugs the tackle, gives the hand pass out in front of Brown, gives away a little ground. Brown 65 metres out and on all fours. Rasuto and Champion. Champion has the better, but there's a free kick being picked up, and it's going towards Mark Rasuto.
The umpire was a long way from the action when he gave that decision.
He's had a sensational game so far. So too is this man. Tony Hall booted 3 in the first term. He's got only 15 for the season, but of course he's had plenty of problems. But making up for a little lost time so far this afternoon. This for number 4. A united moan tells us that only one behind is the result.
You might have listened to those Brisbane Bears players putting him off as he went in for that.
Richard Champion to bring it back, having a very good season. Nice evening here in Adelaide. Still the bright sunshine as he comes to the members' side. Kennedy up in front. Fletcher, the quick hands to Gastev, who boots it down towards the wing. Pitches just inside the field of play and bounces through the interchange gates. There's John Gastev. Not sure about who that is. Wren works his way in front. Clark battles with him. Wren.
Oh, well done.
Sharked by Lambert. Away he comes. Pulls it back. An intelligent kick intended for Pios. It runs free behind. 2-on-1 situation for the Bears. It comes back to the third man in the food chain there. That's Lepic, who snaps a magnificent goal. That's his second. And the third for the Brisbane Bears. My word, they needed that one.
And there is the young fellow, his second goal. But Craig Lambert, you could never criticise Craig Lambert. He gets the ball a lot, and maybe one area where you could criticise is that he does handball too much. And on that occasion, he got the ball, sent it down with a kick, and the Bears reaped the reward of his good play. He initiated that from centre wing.
23 points the margin, favouring the Crows. Wren again to Rasuto.
His job's made easier, Wren, because Clark is going a mile too early for those ball ups in the
Brown
centre.
to Pittman, on to McGuinness. Ominous signs here as McGuinness hoiks it towards Modra. Out-bustled on this occasion by Richard Champion. And now 50. Now, is that pedantic or not, Don? I'm sorry?
I don't know. I'd give up, Sam. Unbelievable. Sometimes the umpires just want to... No, anyway, on with the game.
All right, thank you very much. Well, Craven drops what he should have taken. May get a chance to recover. Around Wren he goes, up towards the half-forward line. McDermott in a good spot. Voss comes over the top, unable to complete the mark. Close to the boundary line and eventually taken over for a throw-in on the outer side. Tony Modra, who gave away that 50, has 1 goal so far in this match. That was kicked in the first quarter. Clark and Wren on all fours. Over the head of McAdam it goes. McGuinness an opportunity. Kicks it in towards the middle. They've got the numbers again. I think Rashudo's got something wrong with him because no one wants to go near him. Mark Rashudo's penetrating kick towards Modra. 1 grab. Couldn't complete it. McIver off hands. Takes it wide towards Lambert. The Bears should get out of trouble through Craig Lambert. He's on half back. Goes wide towards the wing. They've got the numbers there if Ashcroft can keep it in play, but he's clean bowled. And a throw-in to take place on the outer side.
Not sure that Fletcher's the man for Rashudo. He might be a bit too quick. Let Fletcher play his own game.
Well,
somebody else.
There's only four differences as far as positions go, Dennis, but Rashudo is kicking the ball and using it longer than what Fletcher is. So Fletcher's had, what, 10 positions, which is not a bad effort. Rashudo 13.
Ball out of bounds on the outer side. Just think that Fletcher is conscious of Rashudo, though. His possessions haven't really chimed in as far as the Bears are concerned. Up goes Pittman in front, gets it down. Powell with dash. Claimed by Scott. This is Pesh close to the boundary line. Time to have a bounce. Goes with a chip pass to Brown, and Brown is only about 30 metres out from goal.
Good classy then, Pesh, the way he delivered that ball. Steadied. And hit Brown. There. That looked classy.
So David Brown. A chance to increase the lead currently at 23 points. This to make it 29. It is. Nice kick. Brown's first, and the Crows pull further ahead.
Well, they're doing it so easily at the moment, the Crows. The Bears are trying hard, and they tried pretty hard in the first quarter, but really, Clark has got to start and get in front. He's got to start and jump at the correct time at these bounce downs. He's jumping a mile too early. He's caught behind at boundary throw-ins, and that's where a lot of plays being initiated.
.51 plays 22. Fletcher unable to take it out of the centre. Neither McGuinness, and another bounce to take place. Sun just creeping through as Wren plucks it out of the air, kicks down towards half forward, and Wellman once again. Oh, the big man shows dash and style. Brown short on half forward, over the top to Pittman if he wants him. He doesn't. He decides to go further ahead to Tony Hall, and this has shades of a roundabout. Three to Tony Hall at the moment. .30 metres out. Got to be close. One behind. .84 plays 3-4. Champion towards Fletcher and Kennedy. And Fletcher has it on halfback. To centre wing, Marcus Ashcroft, target, fisted away from him. Tregenza, McGuinness over the top. Look out, here they go. Scotty Lee in towards Pittman, can go back to McGuinness. Oh, took it beautifully. 52 metres out, heads for home towards Modra. Got a hand to it, but that was all kept in play. Perhaps he should have not have done that because the only one there was Champion, and he finds Gastev on the outer side. Johnny Gastev gets past Wellman, kicks it up towards centre wing. They've got to beat a couple here. Hart, Gastev, a high kick, a floater towards the half-forward line, and a good, strong mark running with the flight of the ball by Rodney Maynard in opposition to Mark Voss.
Marvellous mark. Rashudo in space across half-back. His 14th possession to Anderson. still on the half-back line. This afternoon, Graham Corns doing a Kevin Sheedy. Anderson starting deep in defence. Towards midfield goes the kick. Fisted away by Pittman. The hand pass goes straight up in the air from Lehman. Knocked wide by Smart. Lehman another chance. Socked away by Pittman. Loose ball. The Bears lead in all directions to it. McIver, he crept up on that one. Not creeping was Pittman, but he missed him. This is Pios further afield. Down towards left half forward. Lepic comes on a lead. The ball pitches awkwardly in front of him. He was clean bowled. Anderson got in the road of McDermott, who heads for the boundary line and gets it across. Indecisive defensive play by a couple of veterans there.
Interesting that you go off the ground. Pittman went off the ground with that knee injury. Now he's moving as if there's nothing wrong.
Don't like that, do you?
No, I don't, Dennis.
Sesh floats a kick towards midfield. Powell trapped it very nicely back to Pesh. Hart is on, running to space. A nice kick for him, but he's fumbled. Ben Hart on the outer side. Steadies, comes back alongside the centre circle now. Uses the ball very well, and Pittman takes the mark. Tregenza sold into trouble. They've got too many runners though. Powell down towards full forward. Champion in front with Leslie. Well, it's a good thing that Leslie can outmark his teammate.
The best and fairest winner of 1990 finds Lehman in front of the scoreboard that shows it's all Crows at the moment. Hart comes inside towards Champion, who's run down the ground. Here he is now on centre wing. Penetrating kick up towards half forward. Lepic unable to take it. McAdam at the back. Threads his way through some heavy traffic. McAdam goes for goal. Around the body and in towards full forward. It bounces over the top but away to the left.
Now that was selfish play because Ashcroft was out by himself on McAdam's left when he picked the ball up. He could have handballed it across. He looked at him and Ashcroft thought the ball had come out too. That was bad play.
29 points the margin. Smart finds Anderson, who finds Smart. Maynard's wide and he marks it in the back pocket. Kicks towards the half back line. Tregenza in front. They bring it down towards centre wing. Simon Tregenza towards Wellman and McIver. McIver picks it up nicely on the half volley, but he runs into trouble. Eventually gets it across to Fletcher. Adrian Fletcher towards half forward. Pios, the diving Pios, takes the mark.
Doing well today, Pios. Excellent pick-up by McIver. It's good to see Backman attack the ball and taking it on the half volley.
60 metres out, Paul Pios.
Well, Sean Wren's had time to walk down there.
Just pops it up into the hole, but there's the gentleman you mentioned.
Oh, you can't do that.
Well, Wolsey wasn't too happy at quarter time. I wonder how he's feeling at the moment. Wren at fullback. Heads back in towards the middle. Hart is there.
Kennedy had a kick.
Loose players everywhere at the moment. Wellman in the middle. Too tall and in front of Gastev. Wants to move it on as quickly as he can. He too floats it up towards the half forward line. Well, he started behind. He got in front and he's taken a fine mark, Maynard. In towards full forward. Now Modra's on the lead. Got a hand to it, but that was all. To ground it goes. Hart over the top. Champion there also.
It's a better
effort. At the bottom is the Rat.
A better effort by Buse to go and hit the ball. That's what he used to do when he was a young player.
Margin is 29 points. McIver does the rucking and knocks it down. Fletcher has a bit of the ball. So does Brown. Kennedy's there as well. And the ball up right on the attacking 50 for the Adelaide Crows, who look in control. 8-4-3-5. Lambert, clean possession, gets it away quickly. Buse tumbles it out towards half-back. Juggled attempt by Kennedy. Hart got a hand in there. As a result, no mark. Lambert gets it away to Craven. It goes close to the boundary and Voss. Michael Voss forced up to the wing, playing at centre half forward this afternoon as their short staff. The kick not particularly good, and Lee did very well. Scott Lee, left half back, sends play back towards the wing. It's a high one. Watch out. Prosciutto, tailor-made for him, had the run at the back and he sailed above them. Prosciutto towards half forward, one of the marks of the season. Ball runs free behind. Voss Now Lambert at centre-half back, kicks towards midfield. Great opportunity here for the Bears. Gastiff has got it. Runners to either side. This is Scott through the middle. About 65 metres out from goal. Goes long down towards Lepich, who got a hand to it. He's going to get a free kick. Well, the crowd don't like it. He was in front against Greg Anderson. He got his right hand to the ball, trying to control it.
Well, Anderson infringed earlier, Dennis, in the second quarter. The umpire didn't see it.
So Justin Lepich has booted 2 goals. He's doing well on the forward line. Make that 3. And the margin pulled back now to, what is it, 52 to 29, 23 points.
Well, here's an impressive youngster, this fellow. He was picked very high in the draft by Brisbane 2 years ago. And here's the build-up. He certainly does move well. He and Chapman were their choices, I think, 1 and 2. And there's the boy. Maybe nothing in it, but then again.
The Bears cut the margin to 23 points with under 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Clark beaten by Wren. Could have been some holding on going on there. It's ignored. Lambert gives it to Clark, and the youngster goes towards half forward, but only as far as half forward. Good mark taken by Maynard. Plays it off towards Lee. Caught by McAdam. Back to Maynard again. He's in trouble from Pios. Now to Nigel Smart. And Smart's got some time to go over the top to Anderson. Forced onto the right boot. No one at home. So
well
just
done
goes
by
towards
Lepich.
the boundary line. Lepich gets there. It ricochets off the boot and goes over the line on the full. Let's have a look at this grab of Prosciutto's just a minute or so ago. Great fly. Back to the action in the forward pocket and touched over the line. So there'll be a throw in the Bears' left forward pocket.
Interesting contrast just a couple of moments ago, Sandy, in the opposite pocket, those tackles. McAdam laid a very strong one taking the body, and Pios tried to arm tackle. It didn't work.
Anderson tries to belt it, and it's socket off the ground. That's a goal to the Bears.
Kennedy.
Well, he's had very few kicks to date, but he's kicked his first goal, and the Bears, 2 quick ones, bring them back within range.
Matthew Kennedy playing on Ben Hart, playing centre wing. Maybe he's been moved. I think he has down on the forward line or half forward. It's a bad punch out by Anderson coming over the back. Should have gone more towards the boundary line.
So back in the middle, and the Bears making a bit of a move here. Wren gets it down, taken by Hart, who boots towards half forward. It strikes Lee, who retaliates and sockers it off the ground up towards Hart. Views nicely done. Fended Hart off, comes away with the ball forward of the wing, kicks inside the 50 again. In front Anderson, that's better. Strong grab. Greg Anderson. Back in defence.
He's big enough to play down there, Dennis.
He's got his hands full with Justin Lepich at the present time. Boots it back towards midfield. In from the side. Valiant attempt at the mark by McKinnon. In fact, he's going to get a free kick. McKinnon, forward of half back. Not a particularly good kick down towards half forward. Well read on the bounce by Gastiff, coming through McIver.
That's better by McIver, the first handball.
Clever. Fletcher has it forward of the wing, inside the 50. McAdam drifting into space. Suddenly the Bears are looking far better.
That's what McIver used to do when he won the best and fairest at Fitzroy when he was playing there. He used to give the handball off as his first option. He led the league as far as handballs went. Since he's gone to Brisbane, he's gone back to the old style of trying to get a kick. He's a better player. He's not quick enough. Better if he gets a handball away like he did on that occasion.
We're talking there 87, a fair while ago, as McAdam goes long towards full forward. Big pack. Off hands and a minor score. Wiedemann's coming on the ground, and Pittman is off the ground. 5-6 to 8-4. So at the present time, Adelaide can't put paid to Brisbane.
$16 points the margin. 6.5 minutes remaining. Wren and Clark. Wren had front spot. Hughes waiting down in front. Lambert going past from 46 metres. Lambert tries to bend it back, but he can't get back far enough. It goes out of bounds on the full.
I think he could have taken another step on that occasion.
Another 5.
He was steadied. He really did make it difficult for himself trying to drag that across the right shoulder.
Anderson from the back pocket. Wren over the top. Got a hand to it. Lambert again. Quick hand pass across to Voss. Voss goes towards McAdam. He used the body. Can he get clear? Yes, he can, Gilbert. Bounces his way into goal. And the Bears all of a sudden coming back. And he says, go and get that one.
In the car park.
I don't know whether that's the most subtle thing to do, is it? But it's a goal. And that's what counts.
Doesn't matter. As soon as it goes, don't worry about it, Sandy. And here's the ball. And Lambert getting involved once again, but it was a good kick by Voss. Use of the body by McAdam on a former teammate, Scott Lee, both playing at Centrals. And there were 3 Brisbane Bears as Gilbert let that through right on the square.
Clark wins it down. Craven dragged off it. Big scramble in the middle. And here's our scoreline, 8-4 to 6-6. So a terrific quarter, this one, for the Brisbane Bears, going on a slight breeze. They've kicked 4 goals to 1 here. The Crows have this ability just not to produce in certain quarters.
Oh, there's a holding against Wren.
Off the ground by Clark, down towards half forward, loose ball. Again the Bears in numbers, socket by Lehman. Up comes Pios, gets it away to McAdam, who booted the last goal, pulls it back, it's floating goalward. Anderson goes back with it, and it narrowly misses. So behind.
He's kicked 1-2 this quarter, McAdam.
Over 5 minutes till half time, and Brisbane 6-7, Adelaide 8-4. They've come with a surge in the last 10 minutes. And just talking about Adelaide's ability to stop, 5 scoreless quarters this season. Adelaide have produced 3. I don't suppose produced is the right word. Offhand, it's taken by Fletcher. In trouble out there, Clark. Trying to soccer it forward, Wren. Over the ball is Lambert. Shovels it out somehow. Clark, well done. Ashcroft over the ball. Nicely done. Through the pack. 50 metres out. Marcus Ashcroft. McAdam behind an opportunity. Offhands. McAdam's in the best position. Foxing for a kick. Smart escorts it across the boundary. Boundary throw in. With the Bears really suddenly making their fans and their players smile.
From the throw-in. Kept in play by Fletcher to McAdam. What's this snap going to be like? In towards full forward and touched through for ball.
One Adelaide player that really has been down today and has been for a couple of weeks now, and he's got to get used to playing the tag, and he should be used to it, is Tony McGuinness. 5 possessions, so Craven doing a good job on him at the moment.
8 points is the margin.
Costa did a good job on him last week against Footscray.
Well, Anderson again opting to go short to Smart. I've tried this a couple of times. This time Anderson goes to the outer side. It is not a good kick, however. It may open the door for Kennedy once again, but his hand pass is not good. Chris McDermott will tidy up towards McGuinness under plenty of pressure from Craven and forced over the line.
Craven's only had the 4 kicks himself, but McGuinness, a prolific possession getter, averages or has been averaging around about 23 possessions a game.
Clark in front from the throw-in. Kennedy waits. Lambert's in there at the bottom of the pack.
He's come good in the last few minutes too,
yep.
Craig Lambert.
I thought he was all right the first quarter.
Well, he's got better then. 17 possessions.
Fletcher has a look up for the umpire's decision and sees that it's going against his team. It'll be taken by Sean Reid. To centre wing he goes. Gastev is the spoiler. McGuinness the crummer. Towards left half forward. Hughes over the line.
He's leading his man to the ball there, Sandy. He's been, well, kept trying to capitalise on mistakes of his opponents, letting them lead him to the ball. But this quarter, he's really attacked the ball, led Brown to it.
Lambert again over the ball. Was he pushed in the back? No. Rashudo comes away with it. Well played. Rashudo about 60 metres out, pulls it back to the middle. Tony Hall. He is very good with that sort of mark.
He's hurt himself too, Dennis. He's hurt himself.
He crashed down on top of the ball there, and that's what's hurt him.
He's had a wretched run with injuries, Tony Hall, hasn't he?
Well, he's a master of taking this sort of mark. Watch him wrench it into his body. But there's not a lot of protection there as you come down as a result of taking the ball like that. And Tony Hall, a fearless customer.
And one player that can play with injuries.
Yes.
A rare commodity today.
Showed that with Hawthorn and Glenelg. He's directly in front. should kick this. It'll be his fourth. And the Crows could do with it. And I think he's missed away to the right. And that breeze is freshening, I'd suggest.
3-3 Tony Hall. His 3 goals coming in the first quarter and the 3 points in the second.
9-point margin we have at Football Park. McIver in the back pocket marks. Matthew Powell on the mark. He goes over the top to John Gastic.
Goes short again. Gastic, the champion.
The champion who's run down.
Puts a lot of pressure on Modra doing that. Good play.
Richard Champion kicks to a fairly congested wing area. Kennedy was there. At the back is Hart. He sweeps it over the top for Scotty Lever. Look out. Andrew Buse is after you. Shrugs the tackle. Goes over Buse towards Brown. Brown on the outer side. Hits towards 50. He wants Wellman and he finds him. 55 out. Gets around the man on the mark once. Oh, he turns straight into trouble. And they're going to lose it. Back towards the centre it goes once again. Charging through is Michael Voss. Gives it off to Troy Lehman. Lehman passes towards Pios. Couldn't quite take it in front of the eyes. Maynard under pressure. Had it for a moment but then lost it. All of a sudden the Bears have come to life as Pios goes goalwards and he misses. Well, that one would have made it interesting. And he should have got it. 6-9 plays 8-5.
8 points the difference. The margin was 28 at quarter time. Here's Anderson. Puts towards the outer side. Wren's in front. Flooding over the top. Clark takes a very good mark. Greeted by silence. Interesting duel this. Wren and Clark. Clark towards the middle.
Oh, look at Voss could have gone in there, and also Lepic, but Lepic took it. But gee, that's bad marking by the Crows. Look, the ball put into a hole here.
Well,
Lepic took it, but also Voss could have run onto it as well.
Well, Wren was standing the mark, of course. He's getting a bit tired. That's normally his spot. Back there in front of the full forward. And Adelaide normally rely on that. Lepic kicks. And he's got it. That's his fourth. The Bears could be in front at halftime here. A minute to go, and the margin is down to 2 points.
Well, he's got a good shape, hasn't he, Lepic? Broad shoulders. And looks like the way he moves, he could be a player of the future. He showed a lot as a junior. And here he is.
A fine fight back by Brisbane, and Justin Lepic, who's booted 3 for the quarter, 4 for the match. Time ticking away as Wren again belts it out of the centre down towards half forward, but it quickly comes back to the middle once more and back to Wren. Boot to ball, he goes towards Wellman. McIver with him. Oh. No mark paid, but belated free kick. Holding on. So Wellman has it 70 metres out. Modra's on the lead. Play on is the call. Now free kick for holding, and it will come back. Wiedemann will take it.
He would have taken that normally, Modra, when he was chock full of confidence. He was out in front, had the break on Champion for 5 minutes. Look, he got his hands to the ball, but he's just not holding it. He would have held that earlier in the season and last year.
From 49 metres, Wiedemann's kick is high in towards the square. A big pack of players, including Champion. And the umpire will decide upon a bounce. Craig Lambert at the bottom of the pack. No need for the bounce. It's half time. And an excellent fight back by the Brisbane Bears. The Adelaide Crows managed just 1 goal 3 for that second quarter after a 7-goal 2 blast in the first. But the Brisbane Bears, on the other hand, added 5 goals 5 and could have been in front. They trailed by 2 points at half time. Just repeating the score: Adelaide 8-5 53, Brisbane 7-9 51.
The world's greatest swimmers are in Rome from September 3rd. See the World Championships on 7 Sports.
All right, Bradley.
Mark it down.
Yeah, mate. Okay. Well, I interviewed Platten because the news was doing Langford. So, righto. No interview, okay.
What's happening, boys?
Hey, Sandy.
Who's that, Bernie?
Yeah, I'm here, Sandy.
All over, mate?
Well and truly.
Righto.
About 3/4 of an hour ago.
Oh, was it?
Oh, yeah.
Sandy. I haven't got my mic. Is it? Sandy, you there, mate? Nice thing.
I can't hear Terry.
Sandy, I'm here.
Oh, can you hear me, mate?
Yeah, good on you.
Good boy.
How
now,
are you?
Where are you?
I'm sitting in Sydney.
Oh, this is magnificent.
Isn't it, eh?
And you got the big one, eh?
Oh, yeah, didn't we? What?
Oh.
It's the rise of the Northerners. Your blokes are there, the Bears are doing it. So.
Welcome back to Adelaide as we check our Qantas scoreboard. The first quarter belonged to the home side, the Crows, but the second belonged to the visitors. At half-time, the Crows 8-5, 53, Brisbane 7-9, 51. It certainly has been a monster day of football. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. Look at this scoreline from the SCG. The Sydney Swans, 9-16-70, have beaten the Blues, 8-14-62. And up there watching that game was Terry Wheeler. He's still there. I imagine, Terry, like many, you're wondering what on earth happened. Tell us the story.
Oh, it was a tremendous effort here today by the Sydney Swans. Sandy, they were committed right from the start of the game and really didn't give Carlton any chance to have a look into the game. They controlled the midfield, very committed right throughout, and were able to nullify what potentially was a very potent forward line for the Carlton side. Carlton started without Milhana and probably started as we would all expect, with Williams, Hogg and Bradley all being involved in the early part of the game and looking very, very clean, looking very efficient and looking very effective. And they were able to open the game with the first goal. But what they didn't count on was the determination of the Sydney side, and it was probably typified early by Jason Mooney playing at full back and his ability here to stay in the game all the way down, continually backing his teammates up, and even when this kick to Derek Kickett didn't come off, he was still there and from full back finished up kicking the goal that really gave an indication that this was going to be a ball game for the Carlton side. And the Sydney side, they matched Bayes and Kernahan together, and both those players did very well and treated us to some fine aerial marking. But the smaller players in the Sydney side, very, very quick, very elusive. Simon Garlick here, but he was well aided by Scott Doreen, Darren Creswell, Jason Daniels, all in the absence of Paul Kelly and Jamie Lawson. They all did very, very well. Peter Philandia, 3 goals for the day, came off after this particular kick with a hamstring injury, but that was enough to have Sydney get home by 8 points. The votes for the game, Scott Doreen playing a very good game on the wing. Darren Creswell had the job on Greg Williams and contained him and restricted the Carlton champion. And I thought Gavin Rose, taking on Justin Madden in what was going to be a key important duel in the game, did very well, not only around the ground in containing Madden, but also stimulating a lot of run from the Sydney side. Sandy, after the game, Neil Cordy caught up with Darren Creswell and Scott Doreen in the rooms.
Okay, with Scott Doreen and Darren Creswell, 2 of the Swans' best players today, probably the best without a doubt. Scotty, you first. The job today, you basically seemed to have a free rein and get plenty of the footy.
Yeah, well, look, Cords, I was supposed to pick up Hannah, but they decided sort of Hannah not playing, so they gave me a free rein, and I was pretty happy with my performance. So yeah, it's good.
So you should be, and your fellow Tasmanian, Crezzy, you've done a fantastic job this year. You'd have to be delighted with the way it's turned out for you.
Yeah, it's been pretty good so far, and hopefully I can just keep the work up and finish off the year on a good note.
Yeah, indeed. Now, you both played in, up till then, it was the upset of the year. You played in that game against Adelaide.
Yeah, we're both involved in that. It was actually my first game back, so I was pretty happy to be involved with that. And now I've had 2 wins, so it's a bit of a luxury.
And Crezza, you know, the team's form after last week. A week's a long time in football. What do you think turned it around for you this week? Anything special on the track?
Barash sort of kept our confidence up at training, and we didn't have all that harder week, but he just kept at us and, you know, telling us our positive things, and, you know, I think everything turned out well this week, and I think the reason Scotty did play a good game was my cooking at home, as in we lived together, so that helped a bit, I think.
Yes, good on you, boys. And the other match being played at the MCG, well, the Hawks are going along very nicely at the moment and finishing off Richmond in no uncertain fashion. 18-9, 117, defeating the Tigers by 28 points, 11-23, 89. Bernie Quinlan is at the MCG, and Bernie watched that game this afternoon. Impressed by the Hawks or disappointed by the Tigers, Bern? Which?
Well, a bit of both, I think, Sandy, because the Tigers in that second half had plenty of the ball. In fact, it was 3-14 they kicked in that second half, Richmond, to 5-3 Hawthorn. And in that last term even, Sandy, it was 2-8 to 3-1. So as you can see, Richmond had plenty of chances. And I think it's back to the drawing board as far as the Tiger forwards are concerned. Yes, because their performance, Richardson in particular, he kicked 1-4, as we see Brendan Gale there taking a strong mark. They didn't have any multiple goal kickers on the forward line, apart from McQueen, who started off on the interchange bench. He ended up with 2 goals, but the rest of the forwards, Gale kicked 1, Richardson kicked 1-4, 2 out of bounds on the full and 1 into the man on the mark. And in the end, his confidence was so shot to pieces, Sandy, that he was looking to pass the ball to someone all the time. But the Hawks, they look very impressive. Chris Langford dominated the game at centre-half back. Their on-ballers were good. Johnny Platten, I thought, played a great game. Jason Dunstall up on the forward line. He kicked 4 goals in the first half to be perched on 996 career goals, 86 goals for the season. And also with Paul Hudson kicking 4 in the first half. They didn't add to their tallies in the second half, but Alex McDonald came into the game. It's taken a long time to really show his best, Alex McDonald. He ended up with 5 goals, including 3 in the second half. So as you can see, their forward line was much more potent. There we see that kick from Jason Dunstall. Missing there, but a terrific mark taken by McDonald. He was a perfect foil in that forward pocket because Turner really tightened up in the second half, got on top of Dunstall. There we see McDonald onto the left boot. He's a very talented player, Sandy, as we saw. And really the Hawks playing probably much better premiership, much better team football than Richmond did. I think the Richmond supporters would have gone away wondering what really happened in that second half. They had so much of the ball, just couldn't convert.
Bernie, their midfielders have been their strength in recent times. They were well nullified, obviously, today.
Yes, they didn't have a real impact on the game. Wayne Campbell, again, played a pretty good game for the Tigers. Broderick got plenty of the ball, but really I thought his possessions were a little bit more ineffective than they have been throughout the season. And Matthew Knights, of course, tried very hard. Maxfield started off tagging Johnny Platten, That didn't last very long, but really the Hawks dominated for most of the game. But that second half, the Tigers did have their chances. There's quite a few rush behinds as well in that total for Richmond, but some of their goal kicking, Sandy, really was atrocious. And sorry, go on.
Bern, just before your votes, is it a hiccup for Richmond or is it something more than that?
Well, you know, it would have been a game that they'd be coming in expecting 50-50. I think it could have gone either way. They've got Fitzroy next week at the Western Oval, followed by, I think, Carlton and Geelong. So they haven't got an easy run home. No. This puts them right back in the ruck today, Sandy. But if they're good enough, they'll come through. But as I say, you know, next week, I suppose you would put that down as a win for the Tigers. But the last two games, they really will have to battle to get into the final 8 because it's just getting so tough in that the 6th to 8th position there.
You're right, Bernie. What about your votes?
Yeah, well, I gave Chris Langford, who started off at centre-half back. Well, he played centre-half back all day, playing on Brendan Gale. He put him out of business, and he played a terrific game, the Hawthorn captain. I gave 2 votes to the big ruckman, Steve Lawrence. I thought his game was very good against his old teammate, Greg Deere. And for the 3rd vote, Wayne Campbell. He's had a very good season for Richmond and finished off his work into the forward line very well.
Good on you, Bern. Go and shut those MCG gates now and head home.
Good on you, Sandy.
Bernie Quinlan there reporting from the MCG and Hawthorn's 28-point victory over Richmond. We'll take a break and return to Football Park shortly. Qantas scoreboard here at Football Park. If you may have just joined us, the Crows lead 8-5, 53. Brisbane Bears 7-9, 51. But Don, if I can use cliche 7C, a game so far of 2 quarters.
Yes, it has been, Sandy. But you do look like that fellow we were talking about. Was it Dave Gilmore from Pink Floyd? He's got 3 colours in his hair too. I was just watching it through the bake. But anyway, back to the game.
Do you want me to break into Dark Side of the Moon or Brick in the Wall or something?
Brick in the Wall would do. That's one of my favourites.
Can we talk football, please?
We can. And here it is. And Matthew Clark there behind once again. And this is where they set it up. And this little man looked classy as he got it across to Davis Brown. There he is. And Brown, I think... No, he did kick this. He did kick this from deep in that left forward pocket, but this is probably one of the only highlights as far as the Crows went in that second quarter. They only kicked the 9 points, and that was the only goal. It really did belong to Brisbane. I didn't think they'd get up, but they certainly did particularly well. What a mark. Whether he held that, debatable.
Had a big first half, didn't he?
Oh,
Prosciutto.
yes. But then again, Fletcher did all right, but he's done a lot more. Prosciutto and Lambert. I think he's the man that's really brought them into the game. He's kicked the ball on a number of occasions. He could have given it out earlier, Gilbert McAdam, but he sent this right over the grandstand.
That's in West Lakes.
It's in West Lakes.
I think so.
Oh, right. But here's Matthew Clark. Now he spots this ball into the hole, and Voss could have run onto it, or Lepic. So it was bad marking by the Crows. They just didn't fill up the spaces. There's Voss on right of screen. He's just running in. He could have gone a little bit harder, but he saw Lepic coming in and decided to peel off. But he's an impressive player, Lepic. He's playing on Anderson, and he has got 4 goals. Very well-made youngster, and he looks like he could have a future, that fellow.
No, McLean, Merritt, White, Lynch. They're still very competitive.
Well, I thought, gee, how long's this game going to be on today that we've got a broadcast? Because I didn't give them a chance with those guys out because they're an integral part. But they've really lifted, haven't they? They've been a surprise packet.
You go and put your head back in the music trivia book, and we'll take a break.
David. Good day.
Welcome back, Brisbane, as the major is back on the ground. Okay, Adelaide, let's hear it for the Adelaide Cavalry Crows.
We've got both sides back out on the ground here at Football Park and just about set to go for the second half to Curls and Matty down on the boundary line, our riders. It finished up, Curls, an even first half.
Well, Sandy, full credit to the Brisbane boys, and they really fought back. They found space, but they attacked the ball harder, and they had some key players, which Matty will tell us about. And the breeze is a factor, but it's not that big a factor. The Brisbane boys just took the game away from the Crows that quarter, and Matty, there were some very good individual players.
Certainly, and as Don mentioned before, Craig Lambert, I mean, he came into it, he's taking the ball away from the contest. And Matthew Clark's having a great battle with Sean Wren.
And they've certainly tightened up on Prosciutto in the centre, who virtually owned it in the first quarter. No problem there.
Thank you, boys. Neil Curley and Matt Campbell. On the boundary line there is Mark Prosciutto and Sean Wren. Just about set to go here at Football Park. If you've just joined us, another full house, just about.
Matthew Clark's really got to start and put his body in here at the centre bounces, Sandy. I mentioned in the second and also the first that he's jumping a little bit early. He's not really going with the same gusto that he showed in the past.
As Neil mentioned, the wind is a factor, but not having a huge bearing. Let's see what happens in this third quarter, as it's the Crows who have it. But it was Voss who charged away towards Lambert on centre wing, and he has a couple of words to Tony McGuinness. To take it just forward of centre. Lambert having an excellent game, kicks to half forward.
Smart, good effort.
Belted down towards Brown by Smart. Ingerson straight up and down. It's very high. Wellman may get there, and he can go on with the job here. Sean Wellman has a look up forward, goes towards full forward. Poorly directed kick. Richard Champion was a mile in front of Modra, and he took the mark uncontested. Goes with a little chip to the outer side, and Andrew Buse runs down to half back as the sun starts to set. Heads towards Chris Scott territory, but he can't get there in time in opposition to Tregenza, and it goes over the line.
It's good to see Backman come out and hit the ball like Ingerson did then. That was smart play, getting up, punching it forward, then catching it up on the rebound and sending it down from midfield. Well done, Ingerson.
Lambert again emerges with that one. The hand pass not effective. Tregenza lost it, found it again. McKinnon, the hurried kick, a high one down towards half forward. Pittman, awkward bounce on his knees. Wellman. Brown rather tentative. This is Powell in trouble. Back to Wellman. Less than convincing, but it comes out wide to Pesh just outside the 50. Pesh inside the 50 now. Goes for home. Modra. Well, he's marked it. He needed a bit of luck. That ball came down and struck him on the knees and then ricocheted onto his chest.
Well, he's happy about that. He's done everything wrong coming from behind. Champion, you couldn't criticise him. But there he is. He takes it there. Specky.
Lower than the knees. He's kicked the goal. It's second. And I'm not sure he didn't realise that ball was there for the taking and flicked it back to himself.
Oh, Dennis.
No, I'm not sure he did. He wasn't. You take another look at that. And I think he may have reacted to this Ablett-like. Watch him just arch the foot and try and hook it back. You don't believe it, do you? Never mind. I feel better because you don't believe it.
2 goals to Tony Modra, and that mark has brought this crowd to life.
Oh,
former Ruckman's almost in tears again is our Don. Ashcroft gets it across to Gastev. Johnny Gastev comes out of the middle. The Bears turn now to go down towards right half forward and Paul Pios. Nigel Smart paying close attention. Pios just trying to dribble it along in front. Can't get back there. Maynard at the bottom. Pushes it wide. Taken by Lambert off to Gastev, and now Fletcher. Needs to find some room, and he does. He finds Kennedy just inside the 50.
He could just about kick this. He'll make the distance.
Yes,
like his father can kick the ball the proverbial mile. His father, Des Kennedy, played for St Kilda in the mid-60s.
One in the second quarter. Matthew Kennedy is kicked from 52 metres. Long kick in towards the square it goes. Fisted down. McAdam was there. McDermott and Hart combine, and it's Hart who brings it away. Taking it to the outer side. A little bit of space. Gastev used the body nicely against Liptak. Johnny Gastev maintains control. Chips it in towards half forward. He wanted Michael Voss. Didn't find him. Ball to ground. A cry of a free kick.
Oh, that's holding it
for
short.
Martin McKinnon.
Good
Picks
tackle
himself up.
Good tackle by Danny Craven, who's got the job, or had the job in the first half. He still has got it on McGuinness. You can see the two of them at it. Craven just will not let him go.
Bounce inside the 50. Wren gets it down. Too high though for Pesh. Fletcher, who has moved out of the middle midway through the second term. McGuinness did nicely. Got it across to Maynard. It goes around the outer side and brought up the chalk. So it'll be a throw in on the outer side wing. Adelaide 9-5, Brisbane 7-9.
That man on screen's got the job on Risciuto. Sean Hart, 232s.
And Lambert given the assignment to run now, and he's done that with great success. Behind the pack, a chance for the Bears, but a whistle and a free kick is going to Risciuto. Started superbly. Mark Risciuto on the outer side half-back flank. Goes down towards half-forward. Wellman the target. He's in front. And that's a very good mark. Simply Too much reach there for Scott, who was behind him. The kick into space. Well done. Ashcroft wanted it most. Plays on. Slippery hand pass for Scott. Tregenza's got it. Hurried kick into space once more. Awkward bounce for Liptak. Over the ball was Pittman. Down goes Buse on his knees. Opportunity for Pesh. Spins out of trouble. Away to Wellman. Right on the 50. Sean Wellman. Long kick. Just off target. Juggled across the line by Hall. A behind. So now the Crows looking better, going with the assistance of the breeze. Just over 15 minutes till three-quarter time. And Martin Leslie to bring it back in. 9-6 plays 7-9.
Yes, it took them a while to get going in the first quarter when they had it, but once they did, they really fired up. Booting 7 goals 2 in that first quarter. Champion will go into the pocket again, as he has done on a number of occasions. Lehman from the back pocket. Well, it's not a good kick. Will he pay the ultimate price? It's socket off the ground and over the line by Sean Hart. For another throw in on the outer side. 60 plays 51. It's the Crows by 9 points. Pittman and McIver jostling. Pittman used the left arm on that occasion. Socket off the ground in towards a vacant half-forward zone. Gastiff comes charging at it. Look out, because here comes Sean Wren. They didn't clash, perhaps fortunately. Wren again at the bottom. He farms it out. Big man works hard. Gives it to Tregenza. Trying to get clear was McKinnon, but he gets caught. And they'll get out of trouble.
He's hurt himself, Ashcroft, with that tackle too.
Clark couldn't take the mark. Another fine tackle. The ball is held, said the umpire. Lehman was the one who was claimed by Tregenza, and a bounce will take place.
Has not been quiet.
Well, yes, I was just going to say it's not in John Gastiff's nature, but he should have just kept going with Sean Wren coming the opposite way, because being a little man, he would have really hurt Wren, because that's what a big man fears, a little man coming straight at him.
Clark. Sean Hart on centre wing. Around Rashudo and up towards right half forward. Maynard in front and eyes for the ball. Does well. From half back goes to Tregenza on all fours.
Every little man in the competition's grown 2 metres listening to this broadcast.
I'm still pondering it,
so
actually. From one side of the square to the other. Here comes Rashudo, but there's been a free kick and he'll have to go back to Pittman. Because though he injured himself early on but has recovered, the champion can't quite snare it in the half volley. His hand pass goes straight to Wren. The big man is claimed, comes to ground, back to champion again, rides one bump, goes with an awkward looking hand pass to McAdam, and Gilbert McAdam has time to steady. Pick out Michael Voss on the outer side. He doesn't let him down on centre wing.
Real solidity about Champions game now.
Yes, fine player this season. Here's Lehman on the outer side, recruited from Collingwood. To Kennedy. Standing right alongside him, but Kennedy's a thumping kick. He goes inside the 50. Fletcher behind. In front, McKinnon did very well.
Well, he only got the one hand to it. I thought Fletcher with the 2 might have been paid that.
Here's Hart. Across half back. Kicks out wide. Maynard. In pursuit is Ashcroft. On for the hand pass is McDermott. In fact, it's Powell who's got across there. Now Powell's on the wing. Centres the ball. And Pittman has it inside the centre square, so plenty of alternatives as they come down the ground, and Modra's on the end of it. Tony Modra, he's got 2 this afternoon. He'll kick from just inside the 50. Some conjecture about that last mark he took. No dispute there. And the lead is currently 9 points for the Crows. Modra. Nice looking effort. Crowd love it. Modra's got his 3rd.
And he hasn't blotted his copybook to full forward. And that's probably the most convincing mark he's taken for quite a while. That chest mark was just one grab. But then again, I suppose you should take those with one grab. But last week he had a couple and he just spilt them. Pittman, centre half forward. Spots Modra and the ball delivered properly right out in front. Nothing Champion could do.
64 goals to Tony Modra for the season. Brown cops one in the back, and he'll take a free kick up to give it to Rashudo.
That's what Andrew Buse does, Sandy. In the second quarter, he hit the ball himself, but now he's allowing Brown to lead him to the ball.
There's the kick by Brown. Leslie was the flyer from the side. Lambert waits down, cop one high, and should be free kick. The advantage is going to be paid. It finishes with McIver from Gastev. Scotty McIver kicks towards centre wing. It's effective. Buse has it. Towards Kennedy, it's going to be close, but he does well to take a one grab mark just inside the line. Kennedy's kick towards the 50. Big pack of players ran in from the side, couldn't take it. Nigel Smart goes in and gets it out to Hart.
Well done, McAdam. Excellent tackle. Excellent. Well done.
I think Gilbert was perhaps hoping for a whistle a little sooner in his favour. Not to be. Bounce is not a good one. It's taken by Ashcroft, who belts it straight to Wren. He goes to centre wing. Buse trying to thread it through with some fancy stuff. Now have to make amends. But it's going to come back. The holding on. And disappointment there for Andrew Buse. McGuinness to take it. On centre wing. Towards half forward. Wellman and Pittman both there. McIver at the back. And it goes over the line with Nick Pesh. And another throw.
10-6, 7-9. Pardon me. Losing my voice. Some people will be very happy. Meantime, down goes McGuinness. In goes Fletcher. McKinnon got it to Wellman. This is Pesh. And what's he done? He's kicked it behind. So the Crows increase their lead. 10-7, plays 7-9. They've kicked the only 2 goals in this term. Tony Modra's got them both, and despite all his critics, of course, Modra with that last goal has moved to third on the goal kicking, ahead of Simon Minton-Connell. And only Ablett and Dunstall are up ahead. Champion towards the outer side. Imposing kick. Pittman is up, and that's a very good grab. Pittman down towards right half forward. That's setting Sun a problem. High towards the kick-off line. Modra worked out of position. Thumping it away is Clark. Getting back is Wellman. Tries to keep it alive. Gastev's got problems. Confronted there by Liptak. Gastev heads for the boundary line and gets it across.
Well, there's no breeze here at Football Park, but 14 goals have been kicked left of screen, 3 to the opposite end. So definitely the scoring end to which Adelaide are going at the moment.
Buse looking for a free kick. It tumbles out. This is Lambert running away. Comes out wide towards the wing. Kennedy, well taken, kept it in. Nicely done. Like a waiter delivering drinks. He goes down towards half forward. Clever work down there by Hart. Used his body on McAdam and took a good grab.
Off to Hart, who goes over the middle once again.
Kick.
Wellman. Got the shove. The advantage is going to be paid, and Brown's away. Buse gives chase from 50 metres. Brown sets sail for home, in towards full forward. Who was holding who? The umpire said Tony Hall was infringing on Martin Leslie. Pressure on the Bears' defence. Lehman gives it back. 10-7, plays 7-9. Leslie again. To the outer side, a big pack of players claimed by McIver, who kicks in towards the middle, finds Lehman. Troy Lehman in his 42nd game comes wide to an exciting youngster in Chris Scott. Could well be a Norwich Rising Star winner, who knows. A bit of trouble there for him, but he's going to get out of it with the help of Gastev. Kicks it towards half forward, and the mark taken by Michael Voss. McAdam calling for it long. McAdam gets clear. Cutting across in front was Maynard. Gives it away to Liptak. Liptak another one to Hart, and the Crows will get out of trouble once again. He kicks it across in front of the scoreboard here. Rashudo the flyer. Not paid, says the umpire, as Martin McKinnon tries to get away. Gives it to Liptak, another one to Hart. They're on half back, and they are now out of trouble with Powell.
Powell goes long through the wing towards half forward. Buse flies in front. Wellman arrived to give a contest. Buse will get the free.
That's what Buse has got to do.
One of two former Geelong skippers playing in this game this afternoon. Haven't seen too much of the other. Damien Burke. Here's Fletcher, who also had a stint with Geelong. Kicks it down towards half forward. Kennedy, the clever mark, plays on immediately. Wheels onto the right foot. Goes for home. They'll contest about 20 metres out. Lipich did well, worked his way in front. Boss the crumbs in trouble. Ridden into the ground. McAdam slides in, socket away by Smart. Here's a chance for Lipich, slung as he kicked. And the ball's gone out of bounds on the full in the pocket.
Voss very slow to get up after that strong tackle as he went in to rove the pack.
It was McDermott who brought him down. Hart, meantime, finds Wren up towards right half back. 10-7 to 7-9. The game very much in the balance now.
The boy from Chilton warming up on the boundary, Nigel Lappin.
Wren, awkward half volley to control on the outer side for Maynard. And Fletcher takes the mark. The kick around the corner. Not effective from Liptak. Adrian Fletcher. Some indecision. Now gives it to Buse.
Bears have not yet scored in this quarter. Clark, the meat in the sandwich, unable to complete the mark. Lambert sweeping it wide, puts Lehman under pressure. He's just got to try and tumble it down in front. They might lose it here if they're not careful. Smart's in all sorts of trouble. Here's a chance for Gastiv inside 50. Gives it away to Lehman, who fires away a goal and opened the scoring for the second half. Troy Lehman gets his first.
And the boy from Waikerie, they've all come down, I've been told, from Waikerie to see him play. Started with Collingwood, now up at Brisbane. And would you believe he's going off the ground after that kick? But it was an excellent kick for goal. If you watch him, he kept his head over the ball. There he is involved, follows up. Gastev will hit this ball in a moment. There's Gastev. Now Lehman, head over the ball, well done.
Lehman gets Brisbane's first score for the second half and is promptly taken from the ground. Lappin, his replacement.
Thought he was doing all right. Picked his game up in the third quarter, Sandy.
There is Lappin trying to get a touch, but it's Buse who tries to thread his way through. He loses it, however. An opportunity now for Adelaide through McKinnon. Couldn't get clear. Wellman, Tregenza and Brown. Brown in towards full forward.
Well done,
Champion. Over the back.
Champion in front on that occasion, using the fist to knock it further on. It was good play.
So a throw in the left forward pocket for the Crows. Brown in front. Leslie trying to belt it clear to accommodate Gastiv, who runs the boundary line. Away he goes. Not a lot to kick to, so he just wobbles it down towards Lambert. Just forced over the line by Tony McGuinness. Adelaide by 10 points. So the Bears in with a real show in this final quarter if they can contain them. Pesh round his body.
That's good by Buse again.
Buse back towards Kennedy.
He's done well across midfield. Kennedy did this, I think it was in the game against Brisbane up at the Gabba when moved to midfield, or was it Richmond? It was one of those games and he did particularly well, Kennedy.
Wasn't Brisbane because he is Brisbane.
Well, he played for Brisbane. It was up in Brisbane, I meant.
Lambert. As he had a quiet start today, but has really come to the fore. 10-7, plays 8-9.
Wait for this bounce. Plenty of players around the ball. 5 minutes till three-quarter time. Sean Wren. Body to body with Clark. Fletcher, a little uppity, came in underneath them. Almost got clean possession. Fell at his feet eventually. And another bounce. 10-7 to 8-9. What breeze there is favouring the end to which Brisbane will finish. They're right in this. Wren back through his legs. Fletcher grabs it though. Kicks down towards right half forward. Runs away from McDermott and goes across the boundary line. Chris McDermott figures of 2 kicks and 4 hand passes today. Most unlike him. Still, he's playing as a defender this afternoon. Maynard. Again, another ugly pack. This time the umpire decides to pluck out a free kick. It's going Adelaide's way. Sean Wren at the base of that pack will take it. Plays on immediately. Pesh breaks away from half back. Long kick towards centre half forward. Scott in front through his hands. McIver waits behind, couldn't control it. Pittman flicks it out to Rashudo. Rashudo goes inside the 50. A lot of wrestling down there again. That's been the order of the day. Champion decides to take Modra on and was taken high. Here's Leslie. Up from the back pocket, goes around the outer side. The Bears, who fell a long way behind in the opening term, have shown a lot of fight today. They're depleted. Ashcroft goes down towards half forward. Pios is there, knocked away by Smart, picked up by Kennedy. Kennedy got a little bit to that one, gained about 5 metres. Pios soccers off the ground. This is Rashudo, sweeping hand pass. What a beauty. Pesh goes down towards half forward. Up in front, Wellman, knocked away by Scott. Two promising youngsters. And the ball across the boundary line outer side. So the margin, 10 points the Crows' way.
Good to see Wellman not frightened to play in, but play in front.
Just over 3 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Pittman using the left arm finds Pesh for a moment only. Fletcher over the top to Marcus Ashcroft. The Bears go forward once again. Lappin, fresh man on the ground. Craven's away. Kicks up towards the 50-metre line. Can Voss take a mark? He can.
Very strong mark, Voss.
The light's starting to have an effect as Voss wants to get on with it quickly. Kicks from 52 metres. It's a long drop punt right into the square. McAdam at the back. Which way will it bounce? Just going to be kept in play. Wren and Hart combine, and they'll get it out towards the back pocket, and McDermott. Back to Hart again. He goes towards the half-back flank. Tregenza is there for the Crows. Starts the handball moving, and away they go. Up towards centre wing. This boy can run. Pesh's kick towards right half forward, and Pittman takes them up. Suddenly the Crows in with a chance of scoring with just on 2 minutes remaining towards Mudra territory. Got a hand to it. Play on, said the umpire. Champion gets booked to ball quickly. Wellman over the top. Mudra a snap, but it's away to the left.
You get the feeling for Modra, it's just starting to come back.
10-8, plays 8-9. Well, he's got a huge crowd right behind him. I'd dearly love to see him produce some. Craven to the outer side and towards the boundary line. The Rashudo onto Maynard. May have to go back to Rashudo again. No, Maynard finds Tregenza. Simon Tregenza in towards half forward. Bears have the numbers here. Leslie turns nicely out to Gaston. Away he goes. Champion runs away from Modra. Kicks towards centre wing. This will be interesting. Young Voss has got to beat a couple. Does it nicely. Goes over the top to Marcus Ashcroft, who kicks towards the 50-metre line. Down towards Lambert and McGuinness. Two very talented players. Lambert off to McAdam. Finally has a look at what he's got down forward. Will he get there in time? Oh! Hart was the flyer. And here's Hart for the Crows.
Whoa. The good effort by Ingerson to get back because Hart was there a long time. McAdam a little slow getting that ball down to Hart. He's soon to be there for eternity, Hart.
There's McDermott then, out of defence, back towards the grandstand side. Wren flies in front, couldn't hang on. This is McKinnon, stood up in a tackle. Eventually got free and got it to McGuinness, who boots it down towards half forward. Just over 30 seconds remaining in the term. Lappin with dash away to Fletcher. A chance for the Bears to mount something here. Fletcher goes back inside to Lappin. Clark, he's at right half forward, 60 metres from goal. McAdam, he's marked it inside the 50, and the clock is down to 20 seconds. It continues to run. Gilbert McAdam has one goal, and the AFL is less one ball as a result. Let's see what he can do here. Sharp angle. He may in fact kick after the siren. It's down to 2 seconds now. He'll probably hesitate here. No, he'll run on and kick, and that is not a bad effort. The Breeze just pushes it away from goal. And the end of the term. Three-quarter time at Football Park, and this game is very much alive. The Crows lead at 10-8 to 8-9.
Mark it down in your diary. Bathurst, October 2nd on 7 Sports. This match is part of the Foster's 1994 AFL Premiership season.
An excellent fight back by the Brisbane Bears, down by 28 points at half-time, 2 points at, at quarter-time, 2 points at half-time, 11 points the margin at three-quarter time, 68 plays 57.
This match is part of the Foster's 1994 AFL Premiership season.
Don't forget, of course, the top sporting action around the world is coming away on 7 of the World Swimming Championships from Rome, starting on September 3 and going through until the 12th. But as we always say, check your local guides wherever you may be viewing. And for the petrol heads, well, just about time to put the pedal to the metal, because it's all coming away from the mountain. Don's already got the VCR set for the Tooheys 1000. That's from Bathurst on October the 2nd. Great sporting action all here on 7, and Robert Wall's looking a little calmer than he did earlier in the day, because he knows that his side can curl snatch a victory here.
That's certainly right, Sandy. At the moment, the Bears players are playing the better footy. They just seem to be working a bit harder and more confident, with not only with their approach to the footy, but also with their use of the football. If the Crows want to win this footy match, they've got quite a few individual players that have to lift. There's a lot of them are down, and the Crows and the Bears, I feel, have got better individual players on the ground, Matty.
Yeah, well, it certainly have. I mean, they have seemed to have taken over a couple of positions. I mean, Richard and Tony Modra having a good duel, but I think Richard Champion's on top there. And certainly now Tony McGuinness is trying to tag Lambert. That's sort of, although that takes Tony's great ball-getting ability away from him, it still leaves him one-on-one, gives everyone a chance.
It's a funny game, this football game of ours. Like, we thought that the first quarter, you know, the Crows completely on top. More desperate, handling the ball better, making more run, finding players with the footy. And all of a sudden they just took their foot off the accelerator a little bit and gave the Bears players a sniff, and now they're right back in this footy match, and this is going to go right down the wire either way.
Yes, you're right, Curls. It is a funny old game, but it's a great game. We've seen some great action here this evening. Let's have a look at this attempt to mark by Hart. An extraordinary effort, Don.
Yes, I thought it was a great effort by Ingerson to get back there and at least present a contest. It was a wonderful attempt. As we see their statistics, what can we glean from the stats? They don't mean much when you've got a game like this on our hands. And the players certainly throwing themselves in. Interesting that Crows have had 104 handballs. They only had about 80 last week, so they're handling the ball a lot more. Centre breaks, let me lie, they're reasonably even. Hit-outs favouring Wren because Clark's playing behind a lot of the time.
Well, what do you think, Don? Can the Crows hang on? Can the Bears
Sandy,
get up?
I hope they can hang on because I've picked them in the tipping and I want to stay in third position.
I bet you didn't pick Sydney.
No, I missed out there. I think a lot of others missed out too.
So here we go, just about set for a start this final quarter. The Crows looking to come back after a shocking run. They can't make the finals. Brisbane, if they don't win this, can kiss their finals chances goodbye as well. First goal is going to be most important. It's Powell who sends the Crows into attack down towards the half-forward line. He was looking for Tony Hall. Socket off the ground towards Liptak, who tries to go again, is unsuccessful. Chris Scott, the youngster, cool in a crisis, goes towards half-back. Lappin started on the bench, came on in the third quarter. Runs across half-back and kicks towards centre wing. Wren defends against Clark.
Wiedemann's on the ground too, Sandy. He had touched the ball a lot last week against Footscray, but fumbled on every occasion, Wiedemann. But he's on the ground. He's got his chance. Interesting for that ball up at the start of the fourth quarter. Tight game. They didn't play man-to-man. It was half a dozen this, half a dozen that. Whoever got the ball out of the centre, well, they just really raffled it on that occasion, both sides.
Lappin was at the bottom of the pack. Lambert claimed by McGuinness, and the ball bounces over the line once more. Here's the bench. Scotty Lee, Pittman, Anderson. Greg Anderson playing in defence today. Trying to storm through was Matthew Powell, unsuccessful. First goal is going to be so important. The Bears kicking to what has become the scoring end here at Football Park today, the West Lakes end. Here's Lambert. Off to Ashcroft. The runners combine. Ashcroft kicks towards the half-forward line. He wanted Voss or McAdam. Here comes Gilbert McAdam now. Off to Craven, who kicks it up towards full forward. Can they take him out? Yes! Leppich is in front and is going to have a shot.
Well, that break came because Leppich started behind Ingerson. Ingerson anticipated that Craven there would go to the left. However, he hooked the ball back, caught himself, or Leppich got away. Ingerson found himself chasing.
He kicked 3 goals at this end in the second quarter. The Bears need this one if they're going to have any chance, and he's pushed it away to the left, I fear. One behind, can you believe it?
Should have buried that.
Ooh. 10 points the margin.
But that's his first blot on his copybook. He'd kicked 4 goals straight, 1 in the first and 3 in the second till that point.
There's Hart going towards the outer side. Wren's in front. Clark over the top, knocked it away. Fletcher nicely done. Lappin just inside the 50. Long kick, good effort. That's a great goal. The old 7-point play. Got the behind and from the kick in, got the goal.
That was a good punch down by Clark. The ball, the high one, came out from full back. Clark it was. Here it is. Punches the ball down in front. It's attacking if he can punch it forward. He did on that occasion. And then they throw. That's Fletcher getting it across to Lappin. No one in the goal square, so it had to go. And again, sorry to cut across you, but this bounce down. Look at the players. Nobody on either. Look, such latitude.
Certain disbelief around Football Park. It's happening again. They've really struggled on this ground. Wiedemann gets it to Powell, who goes towards half forward. In front, McIver. Scott comes away with dash. Goes down towards half forward. Still inside the centre square. Hart got it. Hand passes to Fletcher. Fletcher 60 metres out. In front. Valiant attempt at the mark down there by Leppich. Fisted away by Ingerson. Both of them totally committed to that ball. It's out of bounds in the left full forward pocket.
And Ben Hart acknowledging the great work. That was a great punch by Ingerson. Hart going across and acknowledging the work of Ingerson on that occasion.
So the Crows lead by 4 points. Wren heads for the boundary line. McAdam, lively all night and day, pulls it back across his body. They'll contest about 5 metres out. Oh, what a terrific grab. Sure hands from Wren. Gets it away to Pesh. The little man comes out towards half-back. Laid it into the path of Tregenza. In close attendance, Craven. And straddled him. Play goes on. Well done, Tregenza. The hand pass intended for Lambert. Tregenza smothered the ball and got it out of bounds.
From where I thought this was a push. We'll watch this in replay. I think I would have paid it against Craven.
From the throw in. They pounce upon it once again. And this time we'll have a bounce. Just in the Bears' attacking zone. They trail by 4 points. They're down by 28 points at quarter time. McDermott has been pretty quiet. Goes out the back door to Hart. Thought for a moment about Wiedemann, but then goes longer up towards centre wing. This man made a sensational start. Had a great first quarter. Mark Rasciuto down towards Maynard. Couldn't pull it in with the one hand. Suddenly, though, Brown has a chance to send them into half forward. A short little chip kick.
Well done, Ashcroft.
Had to go, and he did. Look at him going.
Oh, terrific.
That's an interesting hold.
Rodney Maynard, the supreme optimist, is holding the pack and puts his arm up.
4 points the margin, favouring the Crows just in their attacking zone. There goes Ashcroft again. This time McGuinness applies a tackle. Craven farms it out to Lambert. Here they go again. They're out this time and away. Hart's kick goes up towards centre wing. Maynard backs into the pack. McAdam quick to recover. Gilbert McAdam, can he get clear of Ring? No, he can't!
Good handball.
Off to Fletcher. The Bears desperately trying to get down towards the forward line. Hart towards Fletcher or Lappin. Take your choice. This is Lappin, the youngster from the interchange bench. Centering kick. It's going to work. He wanted Kennedy. Instead, he's got Gastev. Gastev goes for goal. Over the top it goes. And a goal! The Bears have hit the front here at Football Park. They lead by 2 points.
Well, it was hard work trying to get it down there for the Bears. They mucked it up, and here's Lappin. He was going to try and hit Kennedy too high, but there was Gastev all by himself, centre half forward. He just made it. The Bears have hit the front, 2 points.
Wren knocks it down. Bears lead by 2 points, 15 minutes to go. Lambert.
Oh, excellent. Look at that handball.
Alive, terrific. They're going on the breeze. Ashcroft inside the 50. Smart goes up. Haven't seen him today. Kicks it out wide. Running to the ball now. Maynard with time in space. Goes in short. Tregenza just forward of right half back. McDermott's on in the middle. He's got it now. And holds it up. Chris McDermott. Boots it towards the wing. Wren being asked to do so much. Outnumbered 3 to 1.
I pay it too. I pay it to Fletcher.
What?
Yes, my word. He had hands on it first and it was ripped away by Wren.
Like to see that again. Here's Fletcher towards half forward. McAdam, hasn't he been dangerous? The longer it's gone, the better he's played.
Brown coming off.
Whoa! Wiedemann got him. The call was there for a long time. I'm not sure McAdam heard it. Hart, meantime, picks it up. Kicks down towards the 50. Hall, a dangerous forward all day long, goes for goal. The breeze grabs it, pushes it out. Modra goes back after it. Champion goes after him. Deep in the pocket, Modra pulls it back at the impossible goal. Bounces high, just a couple of metres out. Leslie gets a fist on it and knocks it across the line.
Scott Lee's come on for the Crows and going off. David Brown. Lee's going up onto the forward line. Started down back.
An exciting 13.5 minutes left. Leslie to bring it back into play. Comes long. Tregenza trying to spoil Scott, and that's a fine mark by the young boy.
He's a great first-year player, this fellow.
To centre wing he goes. Kennedy trying to slap it away from Maynard unsuccessfully. Rodney Maynard on centre wing.
Too slow, Maynard. Options covered. Rasciuto was giving him a lead.
Floats it towards the 50-metre line. Hall was a big flyer. Couldn't take it. Scott again runs into McGuinness. Rasciuto now. An opportunity outside 50. Can send it to Wiedemann. Too far.
He hasn't got a left foot, Rasciuto. He always goes onto that dominant side, the right-hand side. Had he been confident, he could have spotted him. And it's 50 metres too. A player at this standard, he's really got to work on his skill level on the other side of his body, Rasciuto.
Not one of the biggest 50s you'll ever see in your life either. He's just in the middle. But he kicks them inside 50. Pios is there. Hart is the flyer with Smart. And The umpire's saying...
What's he doing?
No, it'll go back. Way back to Clark, who's going to have to go back and take another kick.
He mightn't have waved time on, Sandy, or signal time on the umpire.
So the margin is just 1 point. It favours Brisbane. Clark forward of centre again. This time goes straight down the middle. Pios had to beat a couple. Oh, McKenna a chance. Taken high. Goes over the top. Voss tries to sock her off the ground. Desperately taken over the line from behind. Was he unlucky not to get a free kicked on?
Well, I was just thinking, I thought maybe I might be a bit hard on McAdam, but I thought he could have fed that ball off a little quicker to his left.
Speaking of feeding off, here goes McGuinness on the outer side, trying to go as far as he can, as quickly as he can. Oh, Ashcroft comes storming through. Marcus Ashcroft kicks towards Leppich, got a hand to it. Suddenly the Crows under real pressure. Look at young Leppich working so hard against Smart. And it's Smart again who sees it over the line. Another behind goes
he's
on
hurt
the ball.
himself. He's hurt himself. Let's hope he's all right, Leppich.
Bears by 3 points. Smart short to Ingerson, who drives it around the outer side, hugging the boundary as he goes. Maynard, very good mark. Rodney Maynard, left half back. Kicking into the breeze. Fletcher goes back with courage. Fine mark. Adrian Fletcher on the wing. Back to the half-forward line. Kennedy in front. Maynard flies from behind. Lappin, who's given them some speed and impetus, goes down towards the forward line. In front was Pios. Holt's quick hand pass. Too slick there for McAdam, but he did well. He knocked it to Lambert. Back again to Lappin. He got a goal from here earlier. Settles from about 35 metres out in from the side post. It's either a goal or a mark, because the mark was clean. Now what will he do here, the umpire? The mark will stand. And the umpire being a little pedantic, saying there's an angle there. Well, that appears to be right between the sticks. Michael Voss, with the run at the other pair, has marked less than a metre out, and a chance to stretch the lead for the Brisbane Bears out to 9 points. They've got 8 of the last 10 goals, and Voss scores. How about this? The Brisbane Bears 11-12, the Adelaide Crows at 10-9.
Well, could this be a repeat of the effort that Sydney did down here? They were bottom of the ladder, they knocked Adelaide off, and here's the Bears. No one expected them to do this, but Voss, a 2-on-1 situation, Leppich holding ground and Voss having the fly.
Brisbane Bears know they must win to have any chance of playing in the finals this year. At the moment, they're looking the goods. Fletcher out of the centre has lifted since quarter time. He's been sensational. Up towards the right half-forward line. McDermott, Lappin, Kennedy, Maynard, they're all there. Lappin may take advantage. Look at that. Beautifully done by the youngster. But his hand pass puts his teammate under pressure. He's equal to the task. The kick in towards goal. That could be another one.
That's hard.
The Bears are running hot here at Football Park.
Well, there's Sean Hart and everything going for the Bears. The way it's coming out for them now, it's really running their way. McDermott tripping over. He's a class player, Lappin.
He's been very good, hasn't he?
And there it is, running right for Hart. Gee, he did a spectacular leap in the third quarter, Hart. And that at time, a beautiful goal. He's pumped.
36,609 fans here at Football Park, and would you believe it, some are starting to leave. It's not over yet from the middle. They need the next one badly. Rashudo pops it up towards Lee on right half forward. Scott Lee spent considerable time on the bench. McGuinness has been quiet, but he marks on 50. Got to get that loping left foot going. Oh. 84 plays 69. Brisbane by 15 points. Now, what's gone on here?
John Gastiff has been taken away. John Gastiff was hit by somebody down the ground after McIver was put on the ground as well.
So he's lost it to Fletcher.
Yep.
That's the last thing they need, but there's a fine mark taken by Matthew Powell. Powell towards McGuinness, who might have another go. He will. Outside 50, and he plays on. Takes on Gastev. Kicks short, and cleverly finding lip tap.
Four goals have been kicked to the end, which Matthew Liptek is now going to have his shot. 18 to the end of which Brisbane are now kicking to left the screen. Can this be the 5th goal down this end?
Liptak, a vital kick. Drop punt on its way, but no. Off target. One behind. Under 10 minutes remaining. 14 points the margin.
So what about this? The Adelaide Crows facing successive home defeats by the Sydney Swans and the Brisbane Bears. Imagine the odds you could have got coming into the season on this. As the ball comes back towards half-back, Tregenza goes up, fisted forward, and just pushed across the line by Andrew Buse. So a boundary throw in, 12-12 to 10-10. And some of this crowd is stunned. They started with their best opening term of the season, 7-2 Adelaide. So since then, they've done very little. Pesh to McGuinness. McGuinness puts it out of bounds on the full in the right full forward pocket.
Well, that second quarter by Brisbane is their best second quarter this year, Dennis. If we go back, I think they kicked 45 points in the second quarter.
Nice work, Don. Here's Champion, hugs the boundary line. Ashcroft. This has been terrific by the Brisbane Bears. Out of defence towards the wing. Wren's in front. He stands tall to McGuinness, who goes with the right boot high down towards the 50. Drifting back McIver. Loose ball behind. Well taken by Buse. Knocked on by Leslie. Opportunity for Scott. McDermott comes across him though. McDermott 35 metres out. Tumbles it down to Modra. There's life in this game yet. Modra about 10 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Going at his 4th goal.
Well, I was always taught never to tap the ball on like you saw the Bears defence doing on that occasion. Modra lining up for a 5th goal of that end.
He's got his 4th. Back come the Crows. Is it too little, too late?
Well, the ball in dispute about half-back for the Bears, and a tap on. Watch this. I was always taught to grab the ball in 2 hands, then lay it off. The ball high. Now the ball in dispute. It'll be touched off the hands like that. It's just not on. Martin Leslie making a mistake.
Again, the Crows come to life, and so do their fans out of the centre. Wren ripped off the ball. Did he have it?
Should have been played a free kick, Sandy. It was grabbed by the arm, Wren. And again, amazing that they're not playing man-on-man in that centre bounce. Both sides at fault.
8 points the margin. Bears in front. Wren has been a tireless worker. Young Clark's done an excellent job. Ashcroft round his body. Quickly down to half forward. Once again go the Bears. A big pack of players. Is lurking dangerously onto the right boot. He bends it back in towards full forward. Got a hand to it, one hand to it, Don. Contain that excitement and one behind the result. And bear in mind they're doing it without Lynch, Merritt, McLean and White, to name but one fine quartet.
And Troy Clark's another.
Yep. Back into play. Wren in front. Taken away by Fletcher. The Bears go back into their scoring zone. Big pack of players. Ingerson over the top. Pios ripped off the ball. Did he have it? McAdam is there also. And the umpire comes in to take charge with under 8 minutes remaining.
Well, these teams practice skill all the time through their weeks and throughout the year. But when it comes to a tight game like that, there is no other position but to be in front, because these players under tremendous pressure, they'll just put the ball on the boot and hope.
Wren just tried a little push towards his teammate. Playing was Nick Pesh.
Real pressure stuff, similar to a final.
They wanted up the other end, the home
There's
side.
a free kick surely against Clark.
Well, the umpire was taking evasive action.
Oh, Wren's been held a couple of times by the arm and not paid. Oh, he's getting it now.
He's got it. Off to Hart.
Oh, look at that on Hart.
That one went unnoticed. So a drama continues to unfold. That was a nice old shove, was it not? McIver says no.
Really?
Scotty McIver has it on centre wing.
How do the umpires adjudicate in those situations?
9 points the margin. The Bears lead. He goes up towards Lambert. Lambert plays on now. Head down, bottom up.
He's done a wonderful job, Sandy, and I think that sums up the way he goes in. Head down, bottom up, and he's feeding the ball out.
Yeah, he's been superb. 9 kicks, 18 hand passes for Lambert. At the base of the pack, here's an opportunity for Fletcher. Comes away and kicks to full forward. Ingerson. He was held, or the mark will be paid. Either way, he comes up with the ball. Well, interesting. To McGuinness, who's running hard now. He sends play towards the outer side. Wren was in front. No free kick. Lambert falling to the ground. Slapped out of there by Hart. Prosciutto.
There's a go.
McDermott goes down towards half forward. On the leader's lip tap. 76 to 85. Brisbane in front. High kick inside the 50. Leslie got a hand to it. Socket up the ground by Lee. 2 hard doers there. Buse and Lee coming to meet them champion. Weston knocks it out. That's Scott. It comes to Champion. No other questions. Champion kicks out towards the boundary. It dribbles and it goes across. So a boundary throw in. Desperate stuff at the present time.
Geez, a terrific first-year player, that young Scott. In a pressure situation, then he just kept running at the ball.
Time ticking away, down to 5.5 minutes remaining. Wellman doing the ruck work. Liptak in trouble. Gets the quick one across to Pesh. Pesh from a standing start. Oh, they're still alive. Nick Pesh gets his first. The margin now just 3 points.
Well, a good hit down there by McIver, but Petch, more or less from a standing start, evades a one step, bang towards goal. An excellent kick. 3 points the margin.
What a thriller here at Football Park. The Crows finishing with a wet sail. And they go forward again, down towards half-forward.
Scott.
Standing his ground was Scott McIver, and he cut one right in the back.
No, they're horrible to take, Sandy. Anyone who's played this game would know what Scott McIver was going through. That ball coming down, he was waiting.
And the man who made contact, Tony Hall, has taken plenty of those in his time too.
My word. You can go short to Chris Scott. Scott's on half-back, Fletcher's on the wing alone.
They can't afford to slow it down. They've just got to keep playing.
Still plenty of time.
My word, there is.
Remember the game against Geelong last season at the Gabba? They did this and they lost it.
Correct. Burke is on, incidentally, for the Bears. This is his first run.
The Bears need to win this and push for the advantage here. Score some goals.
Clark off. An intense-looking Damien Burke has waited all night for this opportunity. 3 points is the margin. Brisbane in front, fighting for a finals berth. The faint chance will still be theirs if they can win this, but McDermott finds Liptak away to Tregenza. The Crows go forward again, up towards half-forward. Champion leaves Modra, but there's the mark to Tony Hall.
You should have run at Liptak on that occasion.
Hall has kicked 3 goals, all of those in the first term. This one to give the Crows the lead. Distance will certainly test him. He's kicking from 50, starts it right. It's coming back. It's a lovely looking kick. They're in front. Crows are in front.
What a kick for goal. Tony Hall. Difficult angle. 50 metres out. That's where you should have gone now at Tregenza. He didn't. He waited back with Scott. You've got to run towards the action, and what a mark. But the kick, superb.
Marvellous game, this one. Back in the middle, and the Crows come out again. Long kick inside the 50. Leslie got a fist on the ball, sent it back to half-back. Lee slipped hand pass to Wiedemann, who could score from here. Modra works his way in front, got hands to it, couldn't hang on, it hit the post.
Well, he's got to go straight down the centre, Dennis, Champion. Or is it Leslie going to take it? Don't go wide.
Still plenty of time. 13-11, 12-13. Leslie, Mendes side with the kick. In front is Burke, fisted away by Wren, taken by Lambert through the legs of McIver, picked up by McGuinness. He thumps it back inside the 50, defiantly fisted away by Champion. It's out of bounds. Well, what a remarkable finish it is.
Leslie took the Ron Elson by going on because Lappin was to his right and by himself 20 metres away.
You get the feeling it's a team playing for a city's pride in their own, and another side looking to come of age in this competition and make the finals. They're still clinging to that belief. We've got a ball up in the back pocket. Brisbane appeared to have it won in this term. Full credit to the Crows. They fought back strongly. McIver goes up, directs it down to Fletcher. Stood up in the tackle, got it to Leslie. Away to Buse. Now Ashcroft on the burst from half back. Long kick to half forward. McAdam has been a problem all night long, and what a great mark that was. When you consider the quality of the opposition, that was a terrific performance there by McAdam. He's inside the centre square. The 89 Magarey medalist goes down towards the pocket. Going to ground was Kennedy. Maynard heads for the boundary with a hand pass.
Still in.
Oh, that was well trained. Picked up by Pios. Across to McAdam. Back to the pocket goes the kick. Out of bounds on the full. The crowd cheer it. And McKinnon will take the free.
From the back pocket towards centre wing. Wiedemann is in the pack, so too is Smart. No mark. It's very congested in that area, and it's pushed over the line for another throw. Under 2 minutes. Still plenty of time.
Champion still running down the ground.
4 points the margin. Burke swats it out the back. Hard further to accommodate Gaster. Tries to get away from McGuinness. Down towards McAdam. He's been dynamic. Close to the boundary line is Gaster. Free kick.
His leg.
Free kick. Oh, don't panic there. It's not over yet.
It's going to McAdam.
Let's have a look at it.
Too high maybe, but no, I thought it could have been off the ball because play went on.
This to put the Bears in front. 1.5 minutes left. And he's going to do it to 36,000 fans booing it. From 50 metres, McAdam's kick. It looks a lovely looking kick. Right into the square it goes. And over the top for one behind.
Well, if they keep it down in the forward line, they've got a chance to regroup the Bears.
3 points the margin.
All options have got to be covered by the Bears. And it's got to be punched back. And here's one.
Back into play to Rashudo. He marks on half-back.
Good kick by Smart to find Rashudo, and also a good lead. Rashudo coming down from way down from midfield.
Now it's the Crows' turn to try and slow it down. Champion in front. Oh, Modra!
Oh, that's a big mark.
Under a minute remaining, he's come down to centre wing with Champion, and he's taken a beauty. Modra floats it high, up towards half forward,
and
a fine mark taken by Chris Scott.
Too slow, could have got on the gas step.
Scott high towards the wing. They need this ball, the Bears. Tregenza couldn't hang on his knees, and then McDermott comes out the back. The Price who threw it. Modra. Lee, we're down to 25 seconds now. Tregenza on the wing, well shepherded by McGuinness. Rashudo confronted.
Better by Buse.
And the ball spills out of bounds. That will stop the clock at 19. In fact, it's down to 18.
Should have done that on Tregenza earlier on second wing when Hall kicked that goal. Good play by Buse to hold him up.
For the Bears, will this be the one that got away? They seem to have it won. Modra flies over the top and thumps it out of bounds. And suddenly, he's the hero in all of this. What a big mark it was just moments ago.
It's an excellent punch out from the ruck too by Modra. He can do it again.
13 seconds. Clean takeaway required by the Bears. Not forthcoming initially. Craven's hand pass was charged down. McGuinness could have been pushed in the back. Grabbed by Fletcher. Up over the top was Powell. The time is out. For the Brisbane Bears. And this crowd, with a sense of relief as much as anything else, and the Bears' dream is over. Well, gee, you can't say they didn't have a dip.
Sensational performance. Champion shakes hands with Tony Modra. Modra kicked 4, but...
And well done, Tony Modra.
Yeah.
Well done.
Tremendous grab in the closing seconds. Paul Pios ponders what might have been. So too Craig Lambert. But a very, very game effort to come down here without a number of their big guns. Be down 28 points at quarter time. And quite frankly, staring a bit of a belting.
And the Crows, Sandy, they were gone. Yeah, they were gone about 10 minutes from home as we go down to Neilkill.
Well, here we have a couple of very relieved Crows players, Mark. A sensational start by yourself and the team, but hell, they came right back at you.
Yeah, they're good. They're a battling team. Brisbane are like Sydney, and you can never afford to give them any space because they'll have a go if they get the chance.
And Rodney, back there in that back line, you really had a big one tonight.
Oh, yeah, I was reasonably happy. I mean, it's just a hard slog game, you know. It was just a hard game. It was just good the boys got up and we had a win at long last.
Did you feel as though the Crows slowed down, or did the Bears put more pressure on you?
Oh no, they ran pretty hard. I thought they ran in numbers all night, and we're at the ball pretty hard. So it was good for us to come back and show a bit of character and a bit of pride for the Guernsey tonight, I thought.
And Lambert, of course, was very effective around the packs tonight.
Yeah, he was good in the first half, and then we had to put Tony McGuinness on him and tag him, and I thought he did a pretty good job after half time.
Well done, boys. We needed that win pretty badly.
Very badly.
Very badly.
All the best. Thanks, mate. Up back to you, Sandy.
Oh, good on you, Kel. It's back to the old plural now. We needed that win, but what a wonderful game of football it was.
No, in all fairness to Neil, it's always been we.
I know.
Not last week, he went bush.
Yeah. He's glad he's back, though.
I bet he still could have heard the drums up at the end of the river.
So repeating the final score here at Football Park in a cliffhanger. Adelaide just get home, 13-11, 89. Brisbane, so game in defeat, 12-14, 86.
Getting home safe this season, and everybody else will get home safe as well. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Centimetre perfect.
Then Well, the final scoreline here at Football Park shows victory to the home side, the Adelaide Crows, in an absolute thriller. 13-11-89, the Bears 12-14-86. Don, I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted.
Well, Sandy, just look at that scoreline there. I came, and that was my prediction, that the Crows were going to go away when we found out that White wasn't playing, Merritt wasn't playing, McLean wasn't playing, one or two other injuries that they've got, and I thought, well, how far? This is going to be a long afternoon. But that second quarter, they really turned around, scoring their 45 points, and from then on, it was a game, and the Crows were chasing tail. They hit the front in the last quarter, the Bears, and it was just an excellent effort, and congratulations for the two teams. It was a real contest.
I just wonder, what will the real effect of this win be for the Adelaide Crows? They've been down and out. We know they can't make the finals. The whole town has been at them in the past few weeks. Now they've turned it around, but all too late with just a couple of rounds remaining.
Well, I mean, that's a long way to go, because you've got to look at the opposition too. And I'm not taking anything away from the Bears, but what I was impressed with the Crows today was the fact they were getting it around midfield and moving it quicker into the forward line. Now, a lot of blame goes on Tony Modra. He kicked 4 goals tonight, but the ball has been coming down, well, very haphazardly from midfield. They got it from midfield, and when they did it, they kicked it long and at least gave him a chance to get out by himself and kick it. That was Lappin there. This is the last quarter, I think. Lappin came on in the third quarter, replacing Troy Lehman. Here he is once again. He's got a lot of class. Now, that was a bad kick over the head, but Gastev sent this through. And the margin, I think, at this stage might have been 14 points.
And I think at this stage we thought, well, that's just about it.
Well, that's right. Who wouldn't in that situation? But then the Crows came back. McAdam was terrific. It was a great battle between he and Hart. Lappin once again figuring, and this is where he set it up for Voss, and Voss a 2-on-1 situation, Leppich holding Ingerson down, and Voss a small centre-half forward, or he plays across that ground, but he really does hit the ball hard. He's a terrific mark, he's a one grabber, but there's some excellent efforts. Ren, I thought, was terrific in the ruck. Here's this Lappin once again figuring, the boy from Chilton, and he was good, wasn't he? Young Hart, what a spectacular leap. McAdam was a little bit slow getting it down to him in the third quarter when Ingerson got underneath. It was a terrific effort by Ingerson to get back, because it seemed he was there for an eternity, Hart. Had they got the ball into him in the third quarter, they could have capitalised. This is that goal by Pesh. Excellent effort. He shows a little bit Pesh. Fast, and if he can get a little more confidence, he could become a player. Liptak. Now, this is where Bew should have run here at Ingerson, at Tregenza, but he waited back with his man Scott Lee. He could have held it up then, because you've really got, in these situations, you've got to take a risk. Leave your man run up and put pressure on the opposition instead of covering the man down the ground. But an excellent kick by Tony Hall. Look at this, from right on the edge. The angle 45 degrees. Beautiful kick for goal. Dispute there by Champion, but to avail.
And that was the end of the penny section, but you can't take anything away from Brisbane. They came down here knowing mathematically they could make it into their first finals, and they played like it.
Well, that's right. No, I don't think that was there, Sandy. I think they realised, but they really have in the last couple of years really turned around and really are now starting to play AFL football. They were very scratchy a few years ago, but now they're starting to play real solid footy.
Righto, the top 3 on the ground as seen by the great man himself.
Who was that, you?
Yeah, I'm just a lead singer for a pop group.
Yeah, I know, Pink Floyd, but if you grew your hair, we could be in business, you and I. Craig Lambert, 3. I thought he was excellent. He started kicking the ball a bit more tonight, and he does get under the packs. Sean Red continuing on in the form. I've seen him in the last 2 weeks, and if that is any indication of his form, he's a dead-set favourite for this year's Brownlow medal. Gilbert McAdam, a terrific battle on the half-forward flank with Ben Hart, but I gave it to McAdam tonight, so they're the votes.
Lambert, Wren and McAdam, as far as Don is concerned, for the best 3 players on the ground. I think you featured in a book originally called Just for Kicks, which had a few footy laughs in it. Well, there's a new one out, Just for Kicks too. Thankfully, this one's not from Don. Let's hear from a Brownlow medalist, Neil Roberts.
Well, we're down at Lawn in the summer. I had a house down there, and my son was playing for St Kilda at the time. We had quite a few of our, his mates, Grant Thomas and Trevor Barker and all the boys, and we rather illegally drew the net. We used to pull the net. I had a mate there, I've still got a mate there called Scraggs. He's a town identity, and Noel Surfy, and it was dark and it was cold, but half a bottle of port and we were game, and in we went, and someone took the deep end, and we had a bunt really full of fish. We had a lot of mullet in it. It was a good haul, and all the footballers were on the beach waiting to see what had happened, and we're dragging it in, Scraggs and myself, and we needed a bit of a hand. Anyway, down the beach comes this monster. He was absolutely gigantic, and we looked up, he was silhouetted in the dark, and I thought, oh, we're gone, we've got no licence or anything. And it turned out to be Ray Gabley, Big Gabbo, and he was in his summer best. He was a block of flats, 18 stone. He said, do you want a hand? And we said, my oath we do. The bunt was full, so he grabbed all the corks and lifted them up, and of course every fish went him out again, so there was an hour and a half gone. Thanks very much, Ray. So we had eggs for breakfast.
Yes, just for kicks, number 2, and a story there from one of the great characters of the game in Neil Roberts, a Brownlow medalist and a great champion of days gone by. Well, Tony Modra booted 4 for the day and is continuing to move in the goal-kicking ladder. In fact, he is now up to 65, so that places him in outright 3rd spot. He passes Simon Minton-Connell. None today for him. Gary Ablett has finally made the ton. Took him a couple of weeks to do it under some pressure. He's on 103. Jason Dunstall, 4 today against the Tigers, moves to 86. His 100 is in sight. Tony Modra is in 3rd spot with 65. As I said, 4 goals for him today, 2 of those in the 3rd quarter. Simon Minton-Connell is on 63. Steve Kernahan for the SCG today in the Blues' loss to Sydney. He is on 62. Johnny Longmire, 1 for the Roos, is on 58. And Chris Grant, sensational young player for the Bulldogs, booted 2 on the weekend, and he is on 56. Now, in the progressive voting for the Challenge Bank Sports World Player of the Year, and things finally starting to tighten up a little at the top, because Greg Williams looked to have an absolute mortgage on it. But coming out of the pack and chasing him is another Brownlow fancy in Glenn Jakovich. Williams has 20 votes. Jakovich has 17, and don't discount the 2 on 15. Buddha Hocking and Sean Wren, who put in another sterling performance for the Adelaide Crows tonight. They're the top 4, followed by Wayne Carey, another fine season from him, and Ben Allen of Hawthorn, too, has had a wonderful year. Chris Mainwaring and Chris Grant are both there on 13 votes in the Challenge Bank Sports World Player of the Year Award.
The 1994 AFL Premiership League Ladder, brought to you by Foster's.
And let's have a look at the ladder at the end of the round, with Adelaide taking the points today. They move up to 34, still a couple behind Brisbane, but the top 8, West Coast. Carlton, despite their loss today, are in 2nd spot. North Melbourne are 3rd, Footscray 4th, Geelong, Hawthorn, Collingwood and Richmond all on the same number. The Tigers dropping down to 8th. So the finals race still well and truly alive, with Melbourne outside the 8 after their loss on the weekend. We'll take a break. More shortly from Football Park. And so, Donald, to round 22, and what a game on Friday night. Melbourne's season could just about be decided. They're out of the 8 at the moment.
Well, I mean, this final 8 system, Sandy, I was critical of the start of it because I thought that mediocrity was being rewarded, but really does add some interest, and there's still a lot of interest. And as you say, Friday night it starts with Melbourne and North Melbourne. Well, I think really a lot of it depends on who's psychologically prepared for the game, and a
couple of other big ones too, Don. Collingwood and Geelong on Saturday is another big game, and then on Sunday we have Carlton playing West Coast, should be an absolute boomer, and Essendon plays Hawthorn in another do-or-die match. That could decide the Bombers' season. Adelaide has the bye next week. So that's round 22. What a finish to round 21 with the Adelaide Crows winning a thriller. On behalf of the team here in Adelaide, for now, good night to you all.
Well, that's the thing about, that's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. I got a long road to walk down to catch a tram to my favorite ground. Use my legs, use my voice, make some noise, support the boys, and that's what football means to me. That's how I like my footy to be, and well, that's the thing about, that's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's
This has been a 7 Sports production.
Just as going through, that's Don Scott. That would, yeah, put that. Okay. Yes, thanks, Dave. Well, a tough game here at Football Park, and both sides had their chances to win. The depleted Brisbane Bears led by 14 points midway through the final term. The Crows came back to win by 3 points. So tonight, the West Coast Eagles on top of the table, and I think they should finish on top as far as the ladder's concerned. The ladder was too slow. They're coming up. That's not the ladder we're going to put in, though, is it?
No.
No, all right. Yeah. Okay, well, they probably could have put it in. As soon as I mention tonight, Greg, if you can just chuck it up there, because I've got to refer to it a bit.
Yeah, they're going to put it in later as well.
Yeah, okay, well,
yep.
As early as you like here, really.
Yeah, they've got to put it up a bit late so they can leave room to put it up.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. All right, okay. Well, I'll refer to the notes and just assume it's there.
Yep.
Yes, thanks, Dave. Well, a tough game here at Football Park. Both sides had opportunities to win this. The Brisbane Bears depleted today, led by 14 points midway through the final term, and the Crows came back with a lot of heart to win by 3. So tonight, the West Coast Eagles on top of the table, and they should finish on top after that amazing result at the SCG. Footscray moved to 4th. Richmond fall 5 places to 8th. And how about that? 6 teams have won 11 games. Next week, North Melbourne play Melbourne, Geelong play Collingwood, and the Eagles play Carlton. Some big games there. And towards the bottom, Sydney play St Kilda next week. We're talking about pride in that game. On the road to the finals, I'm Dennis Cometti for 7 Nightly News.
football. McAdam. For football, McAdam.
Mark Rasciuto welcomed the Brisbane Bears to Football Park as Crows fans welcome back.
It's an absolute necessity to have this crime bill passed.
Would the administration be willing to modify the bill?
No, our strategy is to get that bill passed.
President Clinton, in his Saturday radio address, ruled out any change in the controversial ban on assault weapons.
Let me be clear about this. The crime bill must ban the assault weapons that have no place on our streets.
At the Capitol, a meeting of Democratic and Republican leaders urged by the White House, but no apparent compromise.
If the Republicans were serious, if they were serious about a crime bill, we could have passed that report on Thursday.
House Republican Whip Gingrich said if the Democrats would reduce the cost of the bill, consider the assault weapon ban separately, and make other changes, the bill could come up.
We've extended our hand. I've said flatly, if they will work with us, we can help them pass the rule.
While the political leaders maneuvered, people on the street in one of Washington's highest crime areas seemed bitterly discouraged.
I don't think they even care about the crime bill. I don't even think they're going to pass it.
I think they ought to stop. They just go ahead and pass it and stop joking and faking like they're going to do something and stop playing politics.
The administration will try again next week to get the bill to the floor, and officials here are convinced if they can do that, the bill will pass. What that will take, what all the lobbying is about, is a change in just 8 votes. Bob Abernethy, NBC News, the White House.
Also in limbo is the president's national health care program. In Congress, House members had planned to begin debating it next Monday, but now they're not so sure. And senators wrapped up their first week of debate Saturday, but apparently didn't make much headway. Here's NBC's Joe Johns.
Senators filed into the Capitol for a rare weekend session on what would have been the start of their summer recess. Instead, it was their 5th day of health care debate as one Republican senator disputed charges that his party is throwing up roadblocks.
9 Republican senators have had an opportunity to speak on this legislation. 9 of us. Barely 1/10 of our membership. And yet, we are now accused of impeding progress on health care legislation.
Then the Senate spent the rest of the day talking about but not voting on amendments to Majority Leader George Mitchell's 1,443-page health care reform proposal. Republicans said they needed time to discuss and digest the bill. It's been changed 3 times since it was introduced last week. But Democrats said they're stalling.
Well, of course, its purpose is to delay, and that's the result.
Asked when he would allow an actual vote on health care amendments, Senate Republican leader Bob Dole told NBC News, not soon.
We think we should first, before we get into the amendment stage, lay the foundation by a discussion on what is a very important bill.
However, some senators are concerned about the size and cost of the Mitchell-Clinton plan, and they want it scaled back.
Pick off those pieces on which there's agreement. Do them. Get America started down the road to health care reform.
2 new bipartisan plans are set to be introduced next week. One co-sponsored by the powerful Senator Sam Nunn from Georgia, the other from a group led by Senator John Chafee. One reason the Senate is moving so slowly is the flood of negative comments coming from voters.
We're getting a lot of phone calls and a lot of mail, a lot of postcards, a lot of contacts, and I think most are an expression against one.
about it. The nuclear problem in North Korea may have become a little less worrisome. U.S. and North Korean officials have struck a deal that, if honored, would reduce the communist country's nuclear threat. NBC's Linda Vester has more.
After a week of talks in Geneva, Switzerland, American and North Korean negotiators shook hands on a plan to establish diplomatic relations and ease long-standing nuclear tensions. North Korea has agreed to halt nuclear construction projects, permit inspections of its facilities, and not reprocess spent nuclear fuel rods for plutonium, which could be used to make weapons. In return, the United States has agreed to help North Korea get new, safer nuclear reactors by arranging financing totaling $4 billion and ensure North Korea gets alternative energy supplies till the new reactors arrive.
While this agreement does capture the areas which are significant of agreement between us, there are many important issues that remain to be resolved.
Washington wants to verify how advanced North Korea's nuclear weapons program is, but North Korea has yet to agree on a timetable for inspections. And the U.S. refuses to provide the new nuclear reactors until the issue is resolved. Progress in future negotiations depends largely on the country's new leader, Kim Jong-il, who took power after his father died last month.
He could make them good if, as some people say, he's surrounded by young technocrats and he wants to get the North Korean economy turned around and he's willing to open up and all the rest. And he can make them terrible by taking a very, very hard line.
A march in Pyongyang offered hope. Anti-American rhetoric was absent from public speeches. But with another round of talks scheduled for September 23rd, few diplomats dare to call this the end of the nuclear weapons crisis with North Korea. Linda Vester, NBC News, reporting.
In Mexico, the presidential election campaign formally wrapped up Saturday. Leaders of two different factions opposing the country's main ruling party held their final rallies in Mexico City. About 100,000 showed up to hear leftist candidate Cuauhtémoc Cárdenas speak. He vowed to end 65 years of one-party rule. Ernesto Zedillo of the ruling party will hold his rally today. The elections are set for Sunday. With the world's population booming, experts are warning that there could very well be massive food shortages. WorldWatch, an environmental research group, says the planet's population is going to rise to nearly 9 billion people by the year 2030. It's currently 5.5 billion. The biggest population explosion is expected in the poorest areas, such as Africa and Asia. Up next, the weekend of peace and love continues in Saugerties, New York. It's Woodstock 94. Then later, nothing's peaceful about a fight going on in Maryland. It's got some folks smoking mad.
Some people are discovering something highly irregular.
Excuse me, is this the right price?
About the price of Metamucil.
This can't be the right price.
It's lower, surprisingly lower.
I'm getting the big size.
Still the same high Metamucil quality. Still the same natural fiber you depend on for regularity.
That's odd.
What is it, Mark Long?
I don't know.
Let's get two.
Yeah.
Metamucil, the natural choice for regularity. Now at a new lower price.
Sleep deprivation. 70 million Americans have experienced it, but you don't have to. Introducing Sleep and All Soft Gels with the sleep aid preferred by 7 out of 10 doctors. New Sleep and All Soft Gels help you fall asleep fast.
This morning my hair was straight. Then Bill called, so I decided to go curly. I used Wash and Curl, the curling shampoo.
Wash and Curl with special curl enhancers that work right in the shower.
Thank you, Wash and Curl.
Wash and Curl, the curling shampoo.
If you suffer from an inflamed, itchy rash caused by eczema, psoriasis, or other skin irritations, you can get the relief medication formerly available only by doctor's prescription. It's the medicine in maximum strength cortisone 10. Look, cortisone 10 applied to this itchy rash gets under the itch for soothing relief and help in healing. See? The rash is gone. To relieve itchy rashes and skin irritations, use maximum strength cortisone 10 with the medicine doctors recommend most. Available without prescription.
Discover Las Vegas magic. Excalibur Hotel Casino, located on the most exciting four corners of the Strip, with rooms for $55 Sunday through Thursday. Now until August 31st. Enjoy 6 marvelous restaurants, non-stop family entertainment, King Arthur's Dinner Show Spectacular. Phone
1-800-937-7777. Excalibur, it will take your breath away.
Day 2 of the Woodstock 25th anniversary concert looked an awful lot like the original one. The rains came pouring down.